Welcome to Us versus Movies. I'm your host today, Dustin, joined by Kevin, of course.
Hello, everybody.
Kevin,
Hi.
it's time to face the music.
Oh, yes, sir.
Because you picked Bill and Ted Face the Music. And so now the Pipers come calling for you, I guess, or something. You'd think that's what that means, but it doesn't in this movie because why would it?
I thought that they're going to face all the repercussions from their time traveling angst and the ripple that they put out in the universe, but nope.
Nope. Zero consequences for the most part, as I guess is par for the course of Bill and Ted movies. But anyway, why don't you run us through the goods?
This is what you will face when you're watching Bill and Ted. It'll be a PG-13 rating. It's a $1.28. It's an adventure comedy music / question mark. It's pretty much going to rip everything up this weekend because it's kind of the only thing that came out this weekend of any notoriety. I know what New Mutants did, but yeah.
We covered this instead.
Director was Dean Persaud. That's got Keanu Reeves, Alex Winter, Kristen Shaw, and bunch of other people. It doesn't really matter. It's the same writers, I guess. Chris Matheson and Ed Solomon, the writers, creators of Bill and Ted. Excellent Adventure. And
there's my journey. First problem with this movie. Sorry, continue.
What elaborate.
You'd think these two assholes would know what was charming and worked for their first two movies.
Well,
when they wrote this third movie, that they obviously very, very, and I mean this in the most painful way possible, they obviously did not have any fucking solid ideas for this fucking movie. It was just, Keanu's on board? Fucking let's make a movie.
I think that was probably a lot of it. When I think it was a $25 million. This is what it took to make this. So kind of like that bare minimum average comedy type sweet spot.
I really think you should stop calling this a comedy. It's more of a family adventure film. If anything.
Yeah, I could see that.
Like when you said PG-13, I was like, that's got to be because they mentioned hell or death or so. I don't know. This seems like a PG.
It seems like a PG.
They say dicks, I guess.
Yeah, that's PG though. Like
that's PG. Yeah, that got them a PG.
Yeah, I don't. The PG-13, I don't really get. I mean, I assume, like you said, the hell. I don't. There's really no drug use. There's really no extensive swearing. Like I said, the vulgarities, really nothing there. There's alcohol use, but that's the only reason I think the PG is probably pulling for it.
Yeah, I mean,
it is glorified in one scene. It's in multiple scenes and it's heavily used in one. There's I don't know. That's about it. I can't really think of anything else.
Yeah, I would all those genres. This is like a family friendly. This is the most family friendliest movie I have watched in like 5 years.
Yeah, maybe that was the goal because everyone
we just want our kids to rock to our fucking old ass Bill and Ted shit, I guess.
Yeah, you grew up watching Bill and Ted. I was younger when I used to love Bill and Ted. I thought they were great when I first saw the very first one. I thought it was fun. It was great. And then you're older now. You got your kids and they got their kids. And oh man, there's a parallel. Let's go take our kids to the kid movie that we saw when we were kids.
Yeah, but when we were kids, it was actually a good, funny movie. Like it was actually funny. Like I can only maybe think of 3 times I laughed in this, and again, it's classic you and me. I wasn't supposed to laugh, I don't think. So
there was a couple I think I count 3 times that I did laugh as well, maybe 4. But it was more of like a yeah. It was one of those kind of like, you got me. I chuckled.
Yeah, there was only one thing where I was like, I wasn't expecting that. That got me. But then they were like, we'll sort of fucking kill that joke too. And I was like, oh, okay, fair enough. Yeah, that's good.
So what I think it is, just from the very jump, for me, it's it's the tone of the movie, the way it feels. Like when I
Hmm.
haven't seen the other two in like forever, so I can't speak to them. But I just remembered as a kid, there was something about these guys who were they were kind of rogue, they were kind of cool, and you're like, man, I want to be a Bill and Ted. Like they're having fun and doing adventures, and they're kind of doing it their way. They're not the status quo. They're these rocker guys, and being younger, you're like looking up to them, how cool that is. But
Yeah.
now what defines cool isn't really cool in this movie, and now they're
No, it's
just
not.
the two main characters are kind of these weird washed up guys that are chasing a dream so that they believe is going to change the world, but then they have these daughters. And then this is another part of the movie that really upset me. It just kind of didn't make sense. It's almost like there's two movies happening here.
Oh, definitely. There's like the third that they were gonna write with just the daughters, and then they were like, "Oh, we got Keanu, shovel in this other movie." Like,
Yeah, and they're kind of running parallel with each other, but they're not. Like it's almost the Daughters B story is them basically just redoing the first movie, but
yeah,
instead
but
of
not in a fun way.
not in a way that's good or makes sense or that's enjoyable, where in the first movie you had them on an adventure and their doofiness in these awkward places was kind of where the humor lies, right?
Yeah,
And
exactly.
and how they interact and they bring their weird air guitar and the way they speak to each other just in this environment. But the girls don't have that. The girls have this very cringy, awkward, almost cosplay type. Like the daughter for Keanu's
Keanu.
character. Oh my
Oh, I
gosh.
fucking hated every moment of her on the screen, and I hate saying that, but I really did. I was just like, please stop giving us your best Keanu Reeves and Bill and Ted impression right now.
Yeah, like
Can you
she's
please just be a fucking character? Like, and not a weird, gross copy of a character? This sucks so bad.
like she didn't embody the character and make it her own, right? She just tried to
Exactly.
mimic it.
Neither of them. Neither
She
of
was
them.
very well. The blonde wasn't as
She
egregious
wasn't
on
as bad
screen.
because she wasn't copying
Bill,
as an extreme character, you know? Like that's
exactly.
the
She was
difference.
just
But
kind of
she was,
like,
if you were to just remove Keanu's character and the daughter character, she would be very cringy. If you just had
well,
Ted, like
well, she-
she'd be very
it's
cringy copy of Ted.
so okay. Here's another problem, right? So Bill and Ted were great together in the first one because they had Rufus to kind of play off of. These guys need a third man. They need a straight man in a way.
Yeah.
To kind of balance them. And I know it's not really a balance, but it kind of just works with their dialogue and visually. So Rufus is kind of like always no-sold their jokes, but then he kind of chimed in with his own just to kind of let everyone know that he's in on the fun as well, right?
Yeah.
And they kind of up that ante in the second one with Death because
Yes.
he doesn't really come into almost like 15, 20, 30 minutes in the fucking bogus journey, right? And then it's kind of full blast, right? And then you get the robots and the aliens in the second one, and then it's just kind of just fucking all over the place, right?
Thank God those aliens didn't come back for this one.
I
If I had to
kind
see
of,
their weird alien butts, I was gonna get real mad. I
I
wanted
would
to,
have
but at
been.
the same time, I was like, no.
They needed a cameo, at least in the background, as a nod, just because
Yeah, I
this
think they forgot their own second movie.
because this third movie just kind of just goes off it tries to make up its own rules and it tries so hard to stick by its own stupid rules, but each time they bring up the movie, they bring it up a lot what's happening and what has to happen. And I'm like, well,
They
you're
basically
so
like it's like they're not even. It's not even a smart enough script that you're confused on. Like, oh, like when they said this is how it's gonna end, I was like, all right, I already know. I already know how this movie's gonna end. This sucks. Like from the opening, I knew how it was gonna end. I was like,
right,
okay, I just figured out your entire movie. Fuck, it's
right.
gonna be a long ride. And then they're
Because
just like, sometimes it won't make sense till the end. I was like, no, it already makes sense. It makes perfect fucking sense. Why are you doing this? Why do you keep bringing that up? This is horrible. Please stop
because
this. And they were
it's
like,
so
we're not.
heavy-handed. It's hitting you over the head with a hammer. It's just like, and you have this. Well, back to my main point. You don't have that dichotomy for them to play off of. So a lot of the time in this one, Bill and Ted are by themselves for the most part, saying the same things, repeating the same scenes, and there's really no one to kind of break them up, even though they feel deflated. They don't have a lot of energy in this, and you're just kind of like, man. And the other two, I know it's been 25 fucking years or something, but there's no presence on screen with them. They're not like,
they didn't come across as Bill and Ted. They
no,
came across as Keanu Reeves and Alex Winter.
Exactly. And there was, yeah, and that's, I think, what really hurt it. There was no fun energy coming from them, and I get it, but if they're older and stuff, they're kind of in this dad role, but they needed to do like a variation of them, but in a dad version. Give them dad jokes, or give them Bill and Ted's style of dad jokes
somehow. Instead, it was just like things happen to them and they just keep doing fine. And now suddenly we're at the breaking point, and it's like, what?
But that was like they didn't have that, and it's just. And then you're just jerked to these other two characters that are trying to be them 25 years ago, and it's so hard to look at. And the girls are just in this. I don't blame them, but they're just put with nothing. And it's
they're told, hey, watch these first two movies, now copy this, and they do.
Exactly.
They do a fantastic job of copying it. It's just that it's fucking horribly cringy too.
Yeah,
it's like.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not. Understand that this isn't 25 years ago, and that two girls or boys, anyone acting like this right now, would not be respected or viewed as humorous. They'd be super annoying, and you'd be like, please fuck off, like right now.
Right, because they weren't
like Bill and Ted were cool in their era. Like,
right, yeah, they were era specific cool, and the girls aren't given anything to play off of or to build up to. They're not allowed to be their own characters. They just come off like music files, and they just come off like they write for fucking Pitchfork, and they just know everything about music, and they're annoying about it.
Oh my god, yeah.
And you're just kind of like, oh my god, would you like? They're real, and they just kind of they speak to each other how their dads speak, and I'm just kind of like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's just not very believable that they would pick up so much of their mannerisms. Like, I'm not joking. They are not their own characters. They're just female young versions of Bill and Ted. And it's horrible. And they instantly label them as that too. And it's like, oh God.
It's like when you watch a TV show version of a movie and those characters are in the TV show, but you're like, something's not right. They're not really nailing it, but that's supposed to be the characters from the movie or the cartoon.
That's not my Alex Murphy. God damn it.
Yeah. It's like, you're like, is this the TV version of Bill and Ted? Because they just seem weird. They're kind of doing the same things. They sound like it, kind of, but it's just real weird. Yeah, it's very off-putting. And then there's a C story going on in there with the wives, whether they will or will not leave Bill and Ted as their adventure continues because of the choices they make, i.e. the moral of the story is these guys always make bad choices. They need to kind of...
Yet they've held down a marriage, gotten a nice houses next to each other, I assume, or I don't know, they share
that was another
house. I don't fucking know.
That was another question I had. I was like, well, you're the even Rufus has a daughter, which is the bunny hat girl from Bob's Burgers, and
and I was like, oh, when I saw that, I was like, oh no, they're not going to use you to your full potential. Why are you in this movie? And then they were like, we're not going to use her to her full potential. I was like, fuck.
Yeah, and I was like, dude, I get it. You want to have a comedian in there to kind of represent that role, but you had George Carlin, who was like a fucking classic figurehead. You know what I mean? He's just
he wasn't there comedian. He wasn't there to like be a
he wasn't there to be
comedian. Funny. Yeah, he was there as an actor.
Yeah. So that was kind of like a weird kind of like, oh, I see what you're doing. What are you doing? Yeah.
All right, let's just jump into it because I want to talk about the Rufus daughter thing, and we have to cover some ground to get there. The movie opens with the daughter's narrating. So if you have not figured out the movie by now, it opens with the daughter's narrating, and then don't we just go straight to the wedding after that? Like they go, oh, they had some adventures, and now.
You see how famous they were. So you basically like these guys have been number one rock stars. They've charted on the top 100. There was a time that they were, they were mega popular, and because they keep searching for this ultimate song they should have already written to save the future. Yeah. And this is another huge shrug of me going, you kind of start breaking down the plot a little bit here. It's 25 years. They don't have access to any time traveling devices at all, right? So it's like you throwing a fucking, like having a cup in a dark room and you have your eyes closed. It's all dark and you're trying to throw a fucking quarter in this cup. They don't know whether they're hitting this top song or not. So they're writing every genre they can think of, every kind of style, and they don't know. We're just at a wedding now for his mom, like, Missy.
No, it's like his brother. One of their brothers.
Ted's brother.
Ted's brother, who is a character I don't even remember.
I don't remember.
Now marrying Bill's ex-mother-in-law.
No, his ex-stepmom, because
ex-stepmom,
she was the hot blonde in the first one, and they had a joke about that at the end of the first one. Oh, what about you? Nah, I'm fine. I just have an Oedipus complex. Okay, great. You want to bang the mom. I get it. So they take that joke and fucking go full all in on it.
They go so all in on it. And that's the opening joke. And it's so unnecessary and long. And they're like telling this.
It's elaborate. Like, you're this uncle's daughter's father's cousin. I got lost.
well, that's because, at one point Count says his father is his own brother. And I was like, that's not how anything works, but whatever.
Yeah.
But here's instantly, like, just bringing up the whole they're still searching for the song thing. So the charm of the first Bill and Ted was that you didn't, they just had to
they just had to graduate. They had to graduate so they don't get split up. That's it. They have to graduate. Exactly. How are they going to pass their history test? They go get to some of the biggest faces in history. They do a speech, but they learn and they speak, and everyone's moved by their fucking shit, and they don't get split up. Yay! They can still be Wild Stallions forever.
Yeah, and that's it. We didn't need to. They're just told you're going to do something that'll, write a song that'll unite the future. Cool. We don't need to know the song. Second one. Don't they Back to the Future where it happens almost right away, if I remember correctly?
If I remember correctly, the other one is
Jesus Christ, what are you, fucking running a dishwasher back there? Sorry.
They haven't succeeded. They're just kind of living with the princesses, and the two robots show up to kill them. They get killed. They go to hell. Hell gets them out because they got to save the princesses, and they got to fucking be Wild Stallions. I vaguely remember. That's all I can. Don't hold a gun to my head. Sorry.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure that there's not a lot of time that happens between the first one and the second one. It's been maybe a year. So there's still not this. You don't need to show that they've created the song because they're still getting started,
Wait, so in the second movie or the third movie?
In the second movie.
The second movie, they basically barely have moved out of their parents' house. I think they have a place together. They're going to marry the princesses with the plastic rings, and they're going to kind of they're just going to kind of like chase their dreams. Yeah,
exactly. They're at the starting line still of this destiny.
Sure.
And they're not really ever worried about the destiny. They're just like, oh, cool, we're just going to do it, We're just going to do it. We're going to be Wild Stallions. We're going to do it. And the third one, they only focus on writing this fucking song. They got to write the song. They need to write the song. We got to talk about the song. Why haven't we written the song? Are we going to write the song? It's to the point where you're like, no song that you could present to me will be good enough at this point because you're talking too much about this song.
It's not even that. It's like, well, they're obsessing about something. How would they even know that it's successful, right? They just know nothing's nothing's changed, right? So if nothing's changed, like, is it going to be one day they wake up and the fucking planet just implodes because they didn't write the song, or that number one, or that number 10 song? Was it the one?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Is somebody going to come from the future, give them a thumbs up? You wrote the song. You know what I mean? It's really weird.
That's why it doesn't make any sense.
No, I know it doesn't.
They're super focused on it. And they should have just, the whole reason you believe they're going to be successful is because they're just like, oh, cool, we're going to do that. And they have not a care in the world that they're actually going to do that. They're just like, all right, yeah, I guess if you say so.
Right. That's the overall super art like problem from the jump is these characters, they're acting like the characters from the beginning when you very first meet them back in the 80s, right? 25 years ago. They're full grown men. They're in their 50s now, but they're aloof. They still talk and act like they're stupid punk kids in their garage, right? Yeah. It's 25 years later. They've had all these successes. It should be them kind of growing up and kind of raising their kids in this weird Bill and Ted awkward way and fun way. And it should be them going, hey, man, we've done it. We've touched success. That had to be it. No one from the futures rang our doorbell going, you fucking blew it. We're all fucked. And they're like, what? Yeah. Like that should be the jump off. And then they could scramble for the ultimate song. Instead of just going, we're still writing this down. Why are you obsessing about something you didn't know that happened? It's like a butterfly fucking effect. You take a shit in fucking your toilet and a goddamn waterfall
volcano explodes and fucking Mount St. Helen.
Yeah, dude, that's what they're doing. And it just makes them, you're like, you're not fun characters. Where's my fun characters? You know, you've always been fun. Now you guys are a bunch of shitheads, like just going, the song. They should be like, hey, man, they're getting married. This is great. We're going to do a Bill and Ted riff, you know, something. And everybody's like, yeah, these guys fucking rip. And then the dad's just
an air guitar. And then when they do, it's just like, just don't even bother.
I stopped. You know
caring.
what?
Like, I don't even.
That was the one thing I did kind of like is throughout the movie, I think they do get into the body rhythm and they do some of the right motions and stuff like that. Keanu doesn't look in the camera like he did in the first movie where he's always looking at the camera. You're like, dude, stop looking at the fucking camera. We're filming a movie. Like when they grab their chest and they do that, like, you know, and this is most excellent. And they do those poses. They do kind of do it just enough for me. And I was like, oh, I like that you guys remembered that you do those things.
It just felt really stiff and awkward.
No, dude, the whole movie feels stiff and awkward. Yeah. That's not to blame.
I was talking about the movie.
It's just everything's the blame. But yeah, that's what just kind of stops these. It should have been a big fun romp in the beginning. And then there should have been moments of levity with like the Terminator robots coming. And you know what I mean? But it should have been built differently to me.
Yeah. Because I mean, my problem is that like you said, there's two movies going on and neither can stand on their own. And right. I don't think I'd watch either on their own either. But I mean, let's just keep going before I sit there and tell you how I would have done Bill and Ted 3. Because I don't know if I would do Bill and Ted 3 now at this point. All right. So they do the wedding. The dad yells at them saying, nothing ever happened in those first two movies. And it's like,
that blew my mind, right? So these two girls, I was like, Dad, like your sons were gone for a long time. They had these people on stage. They did the most dope special effects for a high school fucking book report or whatever the fuck they were supposed to do. Did you arrest some fucking historic figures?
Yeah, didn't you stop Napoleon down a water slide at one point or something?
Oh yeah, that was great.
Yeah, that was fantastic. Where was that shit? Instead, we just saw Jesus walking across the Delaware, and I was like, oh, come on.
I was like, is that okay?
I was just like, whoa, that's why he didn't get PG now that I think about it. Because there was a group out there that was like, oh, I'm writing a letter right now. Oh,
yeah, you had Jesus, more cowbell from Jesus. I was like,
seriously. I was like, what the? Weird that we're including so much of this. But so I guess you do have hell, so...
The dad's just like shitting on it. He's like, you guys, I'm like, dude, they're full grown men. Like if they had an episode, if they were tripping balls and they made it all up, okay, they were teenagers. He didn't go to military school. It's okay, dude. But he was like, remember the one thing I did in the movies back in the day? I yelled at you.
Yeah, that's kind of what everyone does. They're just like, remember this?
Mm-hmm.
Huh? Do you?
Yeah, dude.
And so it's
Well, you got to mention their crazy song they do, which actually, okay,
it was the only part of the movie I liked. Probably was that song.
He does these like, Bill does these like chanting vocals, like throat vocal things. He does
the Hungarian throat
singing and stuff.
Yeah,
and they're playing like
the theremin.
I was like, listen, these guys were two dorks that couldn't play a fucking guitar, and now they're musical geniuses.
Yeah,
I don't understand. These characters have grown musically.
That's it. They put it all in the music.
Like they should be, they should be giving seminars and they should be like musical professors somewhere instead of just like getting yelled at by their dad or his dad. And I was just kind of like,
Or
at a
his
wedding
ex-wife.
in like
Yeah, his
fucking
son.
Pasadena or something. I was like, what the-
Disgusting.
yeah,
San Dimas or whatever the fuck.
San Dimas, Andy San Dimas.
Yeah, I
Look
was
that
like,
up.
I
Look
don't
that up. Not
know.
at work. They're gonna be like,
Oh, I made a mistake. I typed before I listened to all of it.
don't use your work's Wi-Fi.
He's like, and I'm behind a VPN, and I still regret it. Oh, god damn it.
Oh, I'm fired, aren't I?
And then next day,
Well, no, they're down on they're feeling down. And then the girls get up there and they're just like, hey, dads, you'll write that song. And they go to the house and
and they talk about how remember we used to call us Little Bill and Little Ted? And he's like, yeah, well, it's not cute anymore. And I was like, I agree. He's right. It's not cute anymore.
yeah. And then you see Bill and Ted's house. And I'm just kind of like, didn't you guys have a bunch of hits? You put out like multiple CDs.
No, that's the thing, dude. I don't know why you keep saying that. They had one okay song. That's what they said. They had one okay song. They still put out other albums, but it declined sharply with every new album.
No, I get that, but like, dude, like if you have a number one song, even if they're just a one-hit wonder, they could still be really well off.
They bought They bought that shared wall townhome, okay?
I guess.
And nice furniture for their wives, and then said, "Hey, we can't afford this mortgage anymore. You're gonna have to go to work." So
the wives are another thing. So stupid.
Yeah, it's yeah. So no, then they go to the psychiatrist the next day.
No, they go to a family. It's a marriage counselor. They go to a couple counselor. This is before Bill and Ted go into the garage and go, "Hey man, we really gotta." And then Ted's kind of bowing out like this is either
That's after. That's after. That's after.
Oh.
That's when the wives kick him out early.
Yeah.
Because they show up and they're like, "Uh-oh, do we have the wrong days?" Because it was supposed to be single couple counseling, and instead Bill and Ted are so at the hip that they thought, why we're a couple of couples getting couple counseling. So, which saying that is funny when you see it, you're just kind of like, oh, I wish this was better. Because that's kind of the joke that they can't separate their relationships from each other. They're like, we love you guys. That's how they talk.
But that joke's only in there for like 5 minutes. And then you don't ever get that problem revisited.
No, they just solve it the next time they're united, basically.
I don't even know if they solve it. They just kind of stop talking about it.
But they stop. Well, they change their vocabulary is what I mean by solving it. And then you get the girl from Workaholics.
It's Jillian Bell, who is usually naturally pretty humorous, but they just put her as the most non-funny entity.
They're just like, be the straight man in the scene.
Yeah, but
and then when George Washington shows up, I want you to run down the hallway.
Dude, okay.
Just see George Washington in your counseling room, and I was like, also, it's very quite obvious that was a hotel that they filmed that in, but whatever.
Yeah, okay, yeah, whatever to that. Like, so there's a part in the movie, like, really close that basically everything starts freaking out on a timeline. So objects, people, places, all kinds of stuff are just being randomly placed throughout time, but 90% of them end up in fucking Southern California because movie. George Washington pops up on the couch after they have their session, and the only time Jillian's given anything to be funny is just totally wasted. If it was me, because she doesn't believe their stories about time and time traveling, that they're princesses, blah, blah, blah. She's like, I'm going to need to see you guys on Monday through 5 days a week. And you're like, okay, that could have been funny.
Even
but
that line sucked.
But no one sold it. You didn't sell it right. You just said it. And
she could have been like, how's 12 to 1 every day? And I mean every day. We're working
like, listen,
Sundays.
You need to be every day, and then when you're sleeping, I'm just going to be like watching you on video or something, like something weird.
Yeah, she's like ad lib something. Yeah, I need you to vlog. Do you know how to vlog? What's vlog right now? Like just anything.
Like she could have, like what I was waiting for her to do when she doubles back and then George Washington just teleports on the couch because movie. She should have pulled like $1 bill out of her fucking pocket and looked at him, looked at the bill, been like, oh my God.
That would have been hilarious. She'd be like,
yeah.
She's just like looking up above it. He's just stared at her. She's just like, turn your head.
Yeah,
Oh,
just anything. Grab his chin,
shit.
be like, "Oh man, okay, like selfie," and then I'm gonna commit myself. Okay, you know anything, and I would have laughed. I'd have been like, "Oh, at
I
least
mean,
someone
just the
got a
dollar
joke."
bill, just her looking at the dollar bill, looking at him, done. Don't even have to
Yeah,
say anything. I laughed
anything.
instantly or in my head when you said that. So
That's what
I
I
was
was
like, yeah,
waiting for,
noted.
and I was like, "Damn, they didn't even." I was like, maybe they'll let her get a joke in. No, no one gets a joke.
No, no. Let's just get a lot of female comedians and not let them be funny
Yeah,
at all. Just
I would have
not at all.
put Jillian and Kristen together in a movie, and they'll just be like, "Hey, I need you guys to kind of ad lib about 25% of this. Fuck it, just do whatever. Just say something funny. Go, ladies, kick."
Go. Yeah, and
Your buddy
so
cops.
so yeah, so the not funny psychiatrist is like, do you guys not know how that makes your wife seem? And then the wives basically ask them to leave, and they're like, oh man, this isn't good. We're gonna lose the princesses that you've forgotten are princesses unless they tell you they're princesses. And so then they drive home together. I guess they just, the princesses are cool taking one car back, so why aren't the guys? Whatever.
Well, they have two cars and they showed up different. So
Yeah.
and then they're because the Jillian's like, I need to talk to just the women for a little bit, and the guys bounce.
But it just seemed a little like you're doing the exact same thing kind of problem. I'm like, but whatever. So that's when they head home, and Bill is just
Bill's all in on still trying to write the song, and Ted's, I'm burned out. I don't know if I can do this anymore. This is just, I don't know what's going on. I'm scared we're going to lose our wives. But they don't really say that, but I guess because that's really the only...
he kind of does. He does kind of say that. So, and then they open the garage, and there are the girls listening to their
daughters, not the wives.
Yeah, their daughters. Yeah. And they sit there and they pay them compliments on the song from the wedding, in the most
awkward way ever.
Yeah, are you? Am I to believe you guys are related, or that you're just some strangers that stumbled into the garage, or were like, sick mixtape, guys?
Yeah, that's
you
what
ever
it
think
felt
about
like.
putting it on SoundCloud?
Don't hug them. Go, Dad. Oh my God, you're so great. You guys keep progressing as artists, and that's the thing I love about you, because we're fucking music snobs, and you're always going to be just something we adhere to. I just love you so much. Nothing like that. Nothing. They just go, great job doing this. Totally. You should also. I'm just like,
point out
this sucks so much.
They're like, hey, let's explain what they were doing in case people don't know what Hungarian throat music is or what a theremin is.
Yeah.
And so, fear not if those words are foreign to you. They will explain them in cringy detail of like, oh,
when
a lot of runtime on this.
Wouldn't the growth of these characters be better if they just brought out the Flying V guitars and kept trying to do like crappy garage metal for everything? And you're just like,
that would have been amazing.
You'd been like, guys, that might not be the styles that bring the world together. We'll better learn some extra chords then.
Yeah, we better learn more than the 3 chords.
Yeah, because they don't know how to like. And then 25 years, like, God, dude, 25 years, and you guys still suck. You better learn how to play music. Well, thank goodness, Dad, that I'm a fucking music file and I just love everything. And thank God I write for Pitchfork, Dad. We're gonna totally get all these musical artists throughout time to help you guys learn how to play, so you could write the perfect song. How about that? There you go, movie. I fixed you in 5 fucking seconds. You
fixed it, but I still don't want to watch that because
it still sucks. It's still shit.
Like, it just really makes you go, who the hell was asking for Bill and Ted 3? Like, who? Yeah. Why do we need 3? No, Bill and Ted 1 and 2 were fine. They were fine. They were great. Kevin's got a great story about how he skipped watching, I don't know, something, or I'm not going to steal a story, on the first time he saw Bill and Ted 2. I remember when Bill and Ted 2 came out on the Blockbuster, my dad and I were so excited that we went that Friday, fucking got it, and we're like, yeah, Bill and Ted 2 all weekend long. I love those first 2 movies, but this one, as Kevin doesn't jump in to tell his story, continues with...
Wait, what was my story for Bill and Ted 2?
You don't remember? You've told me before. I was like,
what was it? Tell me. I'm blanking.
That when it came out the same day as Terminator 2 Judgment Day.
Yeah. Everybody's like, we're going to go see fucking. I was like, I saw Bill and Ted. Everybody's like, what? You didn't see Terminator 2? I was like, yeah, Bill and Ted are fucking funny.
Yeah, this motherfucker skipped one of the biggest movie openings
Ever.
to see Bill and Ted 2.
Yeah, I thought it was great. I think like me and my buddy saw it, and I was like, Bill and Ted's awesome. And then I was like, Terminator, that was the fucking first one.
VHS.
Yeah, you liquid loser.
Oh, I get it. The dog's got a different name. Yeah. This movie sucks. Breaking your own timeline right now.
I like my time traveling a little on the ha-ha side, guys. Thanks.
Yeah, I like it where the rules are loose and so is the comedy. So they're kind of about to give up, and then
everyone's
lo
like,
behold,
these fuckers are old. You saw this in the theater? Fuck you, old man. No one cares about your opinion.
Yeah. All right. Well, I may have just dated us. Well, I mean, I did say Blockbuster as well too.
People are like, what the fuck is that? Is that a meme?
I only know that on the Twitter. Incidentally, they opened their Twitter account for like 6 hours one day, and like the internet lost its fucking mind, and then they were like, okay, that's enough internet. And they just like closed it down, like no more replies.
Like, what would happen like if a Blockbuster just started coming back? Like, what would people actually do? You're not going to get off your asses. People don't even go get their own food anymore. Like, you want them to
have
go
it delivered, Kevin.
And what are you going to rent? Hey, can you put this USB? Just put like 6-7 movies out there.
Can you bum me a USB? I mean, that would actually be kind of great. People just loading up movies for strangers. Give me some horror to watch, and they're just like, oh, I'll give you some fucking Ouija Shark. Yeah, you're getting that.
Oh, Ouija Shark, classic, just dropped. Because it's like, what are you going to do? Is it going to be like Blockbuster? Hey, there's a place called the Internet where you get all this for free. Is that what they're going to rebrand?
Like, hey, that's what put us out the first time, assholes.
Yeah.
I mean, I know we said it was Netflix, but it was really the Internet.
It was really poor management of a business, but we blame Netflix and the web. Yeah, dude. Like, what would the world and the internets really do? They wouldn't do a fucking thing. That shit would be closed in 6 weeks.
Yeah, it'd be a pop up for like a month. It makes some money, and then people are like, this is why I hated doing this shit.
Yeah, and then they burn it down for the insurance. 1, 2, 3.
What do you mean you don't have the new copy of Ouija Shark?
Yeah,
what the fuck, man? I came here to get that fuck. This is why you guys are out. I'm gonna go to the internet. All right, Blockbuster. They're like, come on, we're a bouquet experience. Fuck you.
Yeah, exactly. Stupid.
Yeah, but where are we in this fucking movie? Oh, the future has come calling for them. And the minute the future shows up, Bill and Ted are like, uh-oh, we're in trouble. Their daughters are like, uh-oh, I think they're in trouble. And they're not surprised. They've bought into their dad's stories 100%.
Yeah,
so when the future shows up, they're just like, whoa.
The daughters stare out the window for like 30 minutes at this egg floating in their fucking cul-de-sac. And then Bill and Ted go out there going, hey, Rufus's daughter? Like, WTF? I mean, not even with that much energy.
They don't even do. No, this is the part I want to talk about. They're like, oh, you're Rufus's daughter. It's nice to finally meet you. And it's like,
how would you know that?
Why would you have that information? He never says that. Or am I supposed to assume that there's some point when you're traveling in the phone booth that you were just like, oh, hey, I have a daughter, by the way. Really like to get back to her with the future intact. No. It never fucking happened. Didn't even mention that he was married. And then yet, this movie, because the writers are apparently married with children, so are our main characters and all their other main characters, dead or alive.
She's not even wearing a trench coat, dude. I spit on this movie.
Yeah, I was like, you're wearing, that's couch upholstery.
Dude,
they put you in couch upholstery.
She should have had a trench coat. She should have had like a short haircut, slicked back. I would have fucking popped.
She totally could have pulled off.
It's the future,
dude. Had, you know?
Yeah, she should have looked identical to him, and I'd been like, this is fucking awesome.
Yeah, instead they were like, let's reinvent the future. Let's do the fucking crisp, annoying white crap.
No, dude, she looked like she was from like the fucking, what's that Sega game? The Dance Channel or whatever? Channel 5? Space Channel 5 or something?
Yeah, Space Channel 5, I think.
I was like, that's exactly what popped in my head. I was like, what the hell?
Dance to the rhythm. Feel the beat.
Yeah, Space Channel 5. Yeah, I was just, it made me think of that, but like, I was like, oh.
Made me think of like the Met that they do every year, and the fashion's always really stupid. And they were like, this year we're doing couches, and she was just like, oh, I'm a couch.
Yeah.
So they go in the egg, like the egg cocoon thing. It sucks. You're just like, why are they not in a phone booth instantly?
Well, it's like an
But
upgraded
also,
version, and then the internet space.
It should have been a cell tower, like just a giant cell tower. What is this? It's a cell tower. It blends in everywhere now. Like the palm tree one. Like that would have made me laugh of just how stupid and ridiculous it was. I was like, really? A fucking cell? All right.
Well, it's like
the next evolution.
Well, here's the thing. It's a phone booth, right? It's something that's just gone the way of the buffalo, and it's very iconic to this movie series, and there's really nothing that can replace it, which kind of sucks. So
including using it again.
So they just use like this stupid CG looking thing they get inside. It's very uninspired. If it was me, just do a phone booth, but just fucking souped up. Just do it. Yeah. Be like, hey man, this isn't really a phone booth. This is kind of how we get down now. Oh really? Yeah, it doesn't really make sense, but everyone just kind of dug it. You're like, oh okay, I'll accept it. Movie of the future. It doesn't matter.
Well, and the phone booth was totally just like a ripoff of Doctor Who. So it's just like, continue stealing from Doctor Who. No one cares anymore. Doctor Who's still doing fine. You're back. Just do it. Just steal again. Upgrade the fucker.
Yeah, but just like you have the upgraded one and then you have the classic one because it's just like you said, it goes hand in hand with the movie and it's a nostalgia movie, so you just do it. Like you don't give me this stupid CG egg shit. I was like, is this Small Wonder? I hate this. What is this? I fucking hate it. Everyone's like, Small Wonder. They could not have pulled this off. Small Wonder, FYI. The little girl was a robot. That's about it. Are they going to Melmac? I was like, I don't know. They should. That's a crossover I could sign up for.
There ain't no crossovers.
Dude, Bill and Ted meet Alf. I'm all fucking in with that. They teach him how to play bass, but he gives like a low bass because he's short. And his fur gets caught up in the fucking chords.
His singing is actually just him coughing up hairballs from the cats he's eating.
Yeah, and then when he does finally sing, he just sounds like Huey Lewis, and everyone loves him.
They're like, remember? Because he did the opening, I think, or whatever.
And then he's just eating cat burgers, and everyone's just like, "That's Alf."
That's so Alf and disgusting. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
They're in the future.
They're in the future. They go against the Great Council, which are just... And this was really weird to me, Kevin. At first, they were just screens of people.
Dustin, I can't believe you're fucking this up right now. I'm so embarrassed for you.
What are you talking about?
They go to the future.
Walk past the phone booth? I was just
getting They walk past the phone booth, and
it's on display there.
It's just on display randomly. It's not like, here are our saviors, Wild Stallions, and all the great songs they wrote in the phone booth, and the man...
Everyone's gonna move on in the future. We got past it. It's now us. We're like, the greatest generation can eat my dick.
It's kind of weird. Is a little bit in the past movies. They were kind of corny throwaway scenes, but it felt like the future was alive and moving. And this just felt like green screens everywhere. Can we get like some extras standing around touching invisible tablets and like scratching their nuts or something?
A fan base, like just fans.
Just like going, hey, I want to go to the Wild Stallions Museum, but no, it's just a random phone box in the middle of nowhere. They walk by
it. Dead CG ghost comes out, and I was like horrible tribute to this man.
Yeah, it's horrible.
And why is he on this tribute display? Where are Bill and Ted? Where's the CG Bill and Ted here?
I'll tell you, dude, they don't really get their comeuppance because the council's like, you haven't done your job yet. It's been 25.
But did you not catch the part where they were on screens for half a second and then suddenly they were real people in the room?
No, I get it, but like,
because that was like, what the fuck? I was like,
this is the part that confused me and it's borderline enraged me. They go in front of the council, and the council's basically like, you ain't done it. You ain't done that shit yet. And they're like, what are you talking about? They're like, we know we haven't wrote the greatest song. I was like, well, how do you know? You've wrote many songs. How do you know that's not the one? And then the council's like, well, we're telling you it's not the one. I was like, it's been 25 years, and you're just now telling these cocksuckers they ain't done it?
Yeah.
It's been 25 years. You couldn't sit a fucking ripple through time to like fart in their direction.
And that's why this whole actually delivering on them writing the song is so stupid and annoying because the characters in the first two movies would have just done it. They would have just done it and never even known or cared because that's what made them cool. They did not care.
Exactly.
That was their version of cool. They didn't care. They were cool because of it. And here they are over caring. The future's micromanaging these motherfuckers, but poorly. They're just,
well, that's the thing, though.
Do the thing. And they're just like, how do we do it? They're just like, fucking do it. Do it now.
Yeah. It's just like, learning something. They're like, hey, man, what's 2 + 2? I don't know. You haven't taught me that. Well, this is how it works. It's just do it. Do what?
For like an hour and a half. They're like, why don't you fucking know?
Because that's the thing. They're trying to develop these characters that are really super shallow in Bill and Ted, right? They're just kind of air guitars and fart jokes kind of guys. And now you're supposed to have them as adults. Hey, we got to write the song to save the planet. Why? Because of our wives, because of our daughters, because you know what?
No motivation other than just they've been told to do it.
Exactly.
So they feel they have to do it. They're not doing it for any other reason than that. Like you said, it should have been because I love my daughter and I want her to have a future to grow up in.
Exactly. I don't want her to be like me, because I think we're losers or whatever. There's no nothing they have to overcome.
Should never think that they're losers. They should always just still have been cool. They should have been cool dads. Like, what's the fucking? How easy is that to do? Just do cool dads. Of course. Everyone else goes, you're not cool dads, but they're just like, nah, we're fucking cool dads. And that's it. That's all it takes is them not believing anyone else and saying, nah, we're cool fucking dads.
Oh, you mean how they were in the first two movies? Kind of these just oddballs doing their own thing. They really didn't have any friends. They just did their own thing and were cool. And we're like the two weird kids in high school that are going to go start a band.
Yeah.
And they should have been like, oh, the two weird kids grew up and now they have two weird daughters. And now they're just like, dude, we got to learn how to play so we could save our wives and daughters. They're princesses, Yeah, dude, I totally know.
And that makes our daughters princesses too. No one once said that.
Yeah.
No one once said that princesses having daughters makes those daughters princesses.
And he's like,
also, I'm pretty sure they'd lose the title of princess when they were plucked from fucking time. But whatever.
And here's another thing being plucked from time. They've been on Earth modern day for 25 years. Wouldn't they have some weird mental problems?
Yeah, they do. Their dad yells at them all the time. You've grown up
in these medieval era, just dudes and just all this fighting and shit, knights and fucking.
Oh, you're talking about the wives. Yeah,
they were wives.
They seemed very adaptable. Like they had a great fashion sense. Their hair was very trendy. I was like,
and I know. This question should have been raised in the second one, but the second one was just like, "Hey man, can't talk about these questions, bro. We're having too much fun. The guys are still being walked.
Fucking hang with death and figure out what these alien butts are doing
when they're doing the fucking games in hell. That's like the best part of the movie.
That is the best part. I died laughing at that the first time. I was like, oh my god, this is amazing.
So, and the girls are such a footnote in the second movie anyway. They're just kind of there because they were in the first.
Yeah, they're just damsels in the first, and they're just damsels again in the second one. That's like their role, There's no, they barely even talk in the first two, and they barely even talk in this one either. It's really sad, actually.
There's
I think the therapist talks more than they do in that scene.
There's a weird I feel like there's another sub story that was happening, and they just kind of cut it up and they got rid of it.
But here's the thing: I'm not joking about this, Kevin, because even when their future old selves show up, the future old selves don't talk. These two women are not allowed to talk in this movie.
No, I know. That's what I'm saying. The future old wives, I felt like there should have been something more there, but they cut everything. You see them; they're at the end of every scene, just teleporting or time traveling. But I'm like, we never see the future versions of them interact with anything. They're just supposed to be dragging the wives along different timelines to show them that no matter what timeline you're in, Bill and Ted are losers, and they're just losers. They don't know about the song. They don't know about.
They don't have the song. They don't have jobs.
They're just bad husbands. But for 25 years, you got a full-grown daughters. In 25 years, you didn't figure that out. Maybe you're bad wives.
Yeah. Or you don't get to complain. You just kind of make your bed and lie in it.
Okay? You kind of just kill him in his sleep.
you kind of like, hey, that's most marriages, all right? You just nailed most marriages.
You just slowly put decon rat poison in his food and his tea day after day after, and it's gonna just get him. It's gonna get him. And then you know what? Then you're free.
One time.
I got to do a little doses.
Free to be in prison.
You can't have the autopsy go. She did the decon move.
She did the decon. She deconned the fuck out of this guy. You're supposed to do it slow. That's the classic move. She finished it in a week.
She just tried to go right for the prize. She's dead husband.
I don't think you realize how badly I wanted to be free of this man. They're like, oh, we know.
Dude, even if you made the movie about the daughters doing basically Bill and Ted 1 and just have Bill and Ted.
Which is definitely what the third one was probably going to be until Keanu said yes.
Because even if Keanu did like a cameo for like 5 minutes where the daughters are just like, why can't you guys be better parents? You're just always rocking out. You're not a fucking princess. I need adulting.
That would have been great if Bill and Ted were just at the beginning of the movie and they're really selfish, okay? And they're so focused on the music. Stallions. Yeah, and they're just like, whatever, you know.
Age rockers.
We're not like, they don't know their kids and not in love with their kids. Maybe they're even separated from the wives and they just don't care. And the kids crave this relationship with them because their dads are cooler and holier than thou rock musicians. Yeah. And then the girls they go on their own journey. Like the future comes to them to be like do a little checkup of micromanaging, and they just jack the fucking porter and they're like, we're gonna go start our own fucking, or like go on our own time adventure band thing, you know.
You know, man.
You know, I'm trying to think of the fucking words. Come
on, Hollywood, don't you fucking get what I'm saying?
You know, and then yes, then I would buy that they'd go through and do their own historical journey, and them being, you know, audiophiles would just be like, we gotta hit all the greatest hits.
Be like, dude, Dad, you're a fucking washed up rocker. You might have been cool back when Wild Stallions were just trampling the charts, but you ain't shit now. I hate you. And then they go back and they see their dads in the fucking 80s. And like, dude, our dads were cool. Or they were losers. They couldn't do anything. And then you can have all your time displaced fucking Kid Cudi rationality or whatever.
Yeah. But instead, we don't get that. We get them in the future.
You don't get anything you want, actually, out of this movie.
No, you don't. I mean, other than Death showing back up, but even then,
they were so sad.
Let's really make this joke horrible. Yeah, it was sad. It was super, super sad.
I had so many little ideas that I had watching this to make it better.
Just save it. We're only like 20 minutes into this fucking shit fest. Okay. They're in the future. They're given every musical instrument, they said, and then you're shown 12 guitars.
No, dude, there's a banjo. There's a banjo on the left.
Oh, yeah. No, you're right. There was a couple. All right, we're given all guitar-shaped instruments of varying...
Those are the only thing that can make music.
Yeah, it's the only thing in the future that can make music. So you're just like, why were they doing those other instruments? Clearly, it's just these ones, but whatever. And then...
you know what? I thought that was going to be a clue. I thought they were going to take one of them. He's like, is this going to be my golden axe that fucking gets the sickest song? Throw him some fucking pedals or something. You're just like, oh, shit.
You know? But no. And so, I can't remember right now. Which one's Keanu? Is he Bill or is he Ted? I'm having a brain fart moment.
He's Ted, dude.
He's Ted. Okay.
Bill is Alex, yeah.
Yeah, so Ted has the idea. He's like, why don't we just go to the future and get the song from ourselves? And
brilliant idea, right?
Yeah, brilliant idea. And then they have like a 5-minute conversation about, is that stealing? No, it's not stealing from ourselves. I was like, well, if you're already both on board with it, why are you sitting here debating the morale or the morality of it? Just fucking go.
Because now it's a beat the clock thing. We get a pocket watch from Rufus's daughter.
It shows the real universal time. I was like, they're fucking time travelers. Who gives what the fuck is this? This is bullshit.
I think.
And do you want to tell them the inscription on the inside, Kevin? Do you remember?
One ring to rule them all.
One ring to rule them all, and then like they turn invisible. No, it says sometimes the story doesn't make sense until the end.
Who would get that ever written on anything?
Yeah, I was like, okay, first of all, I know that this is talking about this movie.
You know what it should have said?
I already figured this shit out.
It should have said, you only get 2 shakes, 3's played with it.
I mean, that would have been way better.
And she should have been like, no, I guess it's on the back.
No, I think it's on the back.
And then it's just a picture of him just like pulling his pants down, showing you his bum. She's like, no, that's
at a urinal. She's like, this is priceless family heirloom. I'm just gonna take this.
This watch isn't for you guys.
Maybe this one isn't for you guys. Maybe
this is letting out a lot of skeletons out of our closet right now.
Did he have 2 watches? You know what? I'll figure it out. I'll get back to you.
Yeah, 2 families.
So he had 2 families. He actually had like 4 families. The future's real fucked up sometimes.
Actually, guys, the Rufus is not the dude you knew.
He's not the dude you knew. He's not even dead. He's just in prison.
He just didn't want to see you.
Killing a lot of people.
Heard that every Christmas.
Just like
Anywho, go save the world. Because now it turns into a beat the clock movie that audience is only reminded through dialogue.
They have 50 some odd minutes at this point. So they go and they take the functioning phone booth.
If the future told me, Kevin, you got an hour to save this, I'd be like, why didn't you tell me earlier?
Yeah, I'd be like, wow, future. Get your shit together, because this is really shitty of you. I think we're not going to make it, okay?
The future's like...
It's going to take me at least half an hour to figure out what the fuck I'm doing.
The future's like in some fucking, base of operations staring at the Star Destroyer fucking plans, and they're just like, hey, man, I don't think you're going to... fuck it. TIE fighter, fly right in there. Woo-hoo!
Just fucking feel it in your loins or some shit. I don't know.
Yeah,
no. Hey, that's 3. You're playing with it.
Hey, Red 5, I got it. Oh, God.
Red 5, I got a pressed ham on my 15. What? On your 15?
Yeah.
I'm on a 24-hour clock. They're like, that's not how that works.
The future's a bunch of fucking assholes.
Yeah. And they're just wearing like late 90s future, like Demolition Man future shit.
Oh,
yeah, it's so stupid.
It super sucks.
It was like they watched The Fifth Element and they were like, yeah, we could put people in satin.
Like, you guys already did it in Bogus Journey. Just do the same fucking costumes.
No.
Like the future should be kind of like, if they're in that center of future time or whatever, it shouldn't that be kind of like forever,
Yeah, no.
I don't know.
Fashion changes quick in the future, Kevin.
Yeah, but
throwaway fashion's much faster. So they kick out George Carlin's ghost from the phone booth, and
away we go.
Away they go. They dial away, and they're back.
It still works when you punch the coin slot, and it just takes off.
And so they're outside of a hotel, and this doesn't ring any bells for them. They go in. It's open mic night. They see themselves hosting the open mic night, playing their one song that we're supposed to remember. And then their future selves run away. And they're like, whoa, what the hell? They're running away from us. They catch them. Their future selves are like, oh, hey, we totally forgot that you were coming. And then this exchange that could have been very humorous is not very humorous. Keanu is like fat. Alex Winter's like, I don't know. They're just gross future versions of themselves, I guess.
Yeah, they're just real, like, kind of like real awkward Rolling Stones, old creepy guy looking.
Yeah, like, have you seen Nikki Sixx? Basically, they both look like Nikki Sixx.
Isn't it like, Sticks?
Sticks, whatever. Is it Sticks or is it 6? I thought it was 6.
No, 6 is a number.
Yeah, I know. Don't tell me this is his made up fucking Hollywood name. All right,
it's Sticks. It's like he's an American musician, Nikki Sticks.
All right, whatever. Like Nikki Sticks, okay?
He's from Motley Crue. Dude, Nikki don't look that bad. He looks kind of messed up. You singled him out like that.
Have you seen how he dresses? Kevin, he still dresses like...
I mean, what did you think of that? Did you see him lately? I would have give you maybe Vince Neil creepy or something. Or...
All right, you know what? All right, someone fill in their aging rock star.
Insert aging 80s
who's
rock star.
Still dressing like a young rock star. Okay, it was just supposed to be funny, but then you were just like, first of all, how dare you?
Oh, you're right. It is 6.
Yeah, fuck you. I knew it. Fucking dick.
Oh, you know what? Maybe if he played drums, he should be Sticks.
Yeah.
But he didn't. He's a bassist.
No, he didn't. And now he has a horrible radio show where he just talks about banging his young wife, and it's really awkward.
Why do you listen to that?
I heard it when I didn't have a CD player in my car. And I was like,
old man with a CD player.
I don't have a CD player anymore either.
So take that, internet.
Take that. Anyway, there's an exchange. the future versions yell at Bill and Ted and tell them it's your fault our wives left, and you're going to go and you're going to make everything worse and blah, 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 blah. Basically, they say, here is what you are going to do for the next, like, entire movie,
minutes,
basically. Yeah, the 45. This is what your storyline is going to be for the next 45, is constantly revisiting us. And if you like that first interaction, you'll probably love the rest of the interactions, but they kind of fucking sucked and were painful to watch. And so they're like, no, we didn't. So they go back to their wives. They're still in therapy.
Well, they pulled the time back, and you're kind of like, that scene with them meeting, like, I don't know where they're at, like the fucking Elk Lodge or something.
They're in a hotel. They're in like a Hilton Inn. Like,
yeah.
At a bar.
And like, this could have been a great time of like, hey man, this is a glimpse into your future. Don't be us. You know what? Because you guys are right now on the path of, you're going to lose your wives. You're going to be playing in Elk Lodge. You're still going to be looking for this song. And they could have been like, oh, wow, we're going to grow as characters and not make these choices, because the theme of this is we always make bad choices.
Yeah.
And that should have been like their glimpse into the future. And each time it happens, it should have been another glimpse into the future, kind of like some Christmas Story shit or something.
Yeah.
But they, or Christmas Carol, sorry. Christmas Story shot himself in the eye.
I was just like, yeah.
Yeah, fuck.
You're going to shoot your eye out.
Some sort of Christmas shit. We get it, dude.
Yeah.
But they don't do that. They go back to the meeting with the wives going, hey, we're so sorry. We're not going to lose you. And here's it's another awkward dialogue that's supposed to be humorous.
Yeah. And they're like, oh, if your future selves show up, don't go with them. Or do. I don't know. We love you. Bye. And you're just like, what the fuck was the point of this?
Yeah, because the future Bill and Ted said, hey, the future princesses are going to show up and be like what we just said earlier, show them what kind of lazy dickbags you are, and you suck it in every timeline.
And then they do, and they don't talk, and then they leave, and then the George Washington scene happens. Just to finish that part.
Yeah, and then before they do that, was that supposed to be Gandhi, or just basically was it a monk? Was it a Tibetan monk?
I think it's a Tibetan monk.
Okay. Like, a dude just randomly appears after the first use of the box, the phone book. And I was kind of like, what? Is someone going to tell me what that is? I hope so. I don't know, movie. We don't have a trust system yet. Yeah,
that was just time unraveling, and it just starts, pasting people in different places. Like, it puts Jesus, like we said, walking through the Delaware instead of George Washington. Kid Cudi is just
Kid Cudi, dude. Kid Cudi.
Sorry.
If you like him, that's fine. But Kid Cudi?
I mean, I enjoy his music. Biggest waste of an actual musician in a movie ever, possibly. But I mean, other than Dave Grohl. But then, and so then after the wife scene, they're like, okay, we just need to go further in the future. Let's just go 3 more years.
5.
We did 2 before. Let's go 5. Yeah, that's what I did math. It worked. And then they're at a mansion. And there they are. They're like, welcome, blah, blah, blah. They're both doing fake British accents for some reason. Keanu's is really bad for whatever reason. And they're like, here's the song. And they play the song. And they're like, hey, that's an amazing song. And then they're leaving. And Dave Grohl shows up. And he's like, hey, who the fuck are you guys? Why are you in my house? And they're like, oh, they lied to us. This isn't our song. They stole this song.
I like the way they put that all together in seconds.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? Even I really kind of didn't know what was going on. I was like, wait, is Dave Grohl going to start shooting the place up? Or
yeah, I was like, Dave Grohl doesn't live in that fucking mansion. Come on.
He might.
Fuck. Not that mansion.
Oh, he might. That might be his neighbors.
I don't know. And so then they go and they find them changing. And they're just like, you fucking lied to us. You guys are dicks. And then they yell. They're like, it's you guys that are the dicks because we still don't have our wives. Our daughters won't talk to us. First and only time they actually mention their daughters. And then Bill pulls a gun on them.
So, okay.
And I was just like, no, that doesn't work.
It's stupid, right? Like I will laugh. I almost kind of chuckled at one scene. He's like, "Dude, why'd you pull a gun on us?" And he's like, "Well, if I did, you would run." And then he put the gun away, and they almost started to run. He was like, "Ah!" He's like, "See?" And he's like, "Oh, you're right.
Oh, you know us." Yeah,
yeah.
that was actually. It could have been funny if they had let it breathe a little bit better.
No, but
instead of it happening so instantaneously fast, or I was like,
the joke's inside a clumsy scene, so it doesn't get his chance to really shine, because you're telling me that it's the future Bill and Ted's again that knew that they were going to be at that house at that time because they've already done it themselves, right?
Yes.
So this is kind of that like Back to Future weird paradox bullshit, right? Because you're constantly doing this loop and we're just following along with one of the Bill and Ted's in the loop, right?
Yep.
So why would the future Bill and Ted's not change? Right. Not know the outcome.
An outcome, yeah.
They should already know because they have done it themselves. And you have to think that somewhere along the line, they never got the robots after them. So what does that mean? The future Bill and Ted's got stagnant 5 years ahead of the first time that they met because they knew they were going to meet him at the lodge? Because wouldn't the future had sent the robot after them, or did they just go, we just lost a wife, so it's whatever, and they just kind of play the lodge?
Well,
and then wouldn't the future go, hey, motherfuckers, we still have a time clock, or the future's like, oh no, I got to send it back even further because they're so far lost at that point in time?
Yeah. I mean, they have, like, everything you say makes sense, Kevin. It's just that they use one line of dialogue to bullshit away all that. So, at the end. So they put buckets over their head to escape themselves.
So they would not. The theory that they're trying to say is if they don't remember how they escaped, the other future Bill and Ted's won't remember how they escaped. So they won't know which way they escaped from because they can't remember or basically cut them off at the pass.
Yeah.
And then Dave Grohl calls it a secret army.
Yeah, apparently don't fuck with... If you fuck with Dave Grohl's house, it is like over the top, and
you're getting
all
shot.
of the police will show up, including...
It was like two cop cars.
Ted's father.
It was two cop cars.
They had a SWAT. No, they had a SWAT.
Oh, they had a SWAT van, you're right. And then
Ted's dad and brother, who apparently...
are on the force together.
They're partners, which I was instantly like, not allowed, but I am interested.
I was like, is this training day?
Yeah. I was like... I am very interested. Also, I don't think they'd let that old man carry a gun anymore.
He would be on death duty, if anything, because he was way past any field action.
So way past. Like I would not be surprised if there's like a in memory of at some point for him in this in the credits. I'll just say that dude was really old. And so then this is when the future robot shows up, and Bill and Ted escape, and he takes his shot and he shoots Ted's dad and
disintegrates him, goes through him
and the SWAT truck too.
One shot's the truck, one shot's the dad.
Well, it's not even that he disintegrates him; it's the shot instantly sends whoever he shoots to hell, no matter what. Which I was like, okay.
Well, that was what I didn't understand either, because the other characters later on get sent to hell, and I was like, is there no judgment here?
No, apparently he just has a hell gun. He has a hell gun. That's it. He shoots everything.
See, that would have been cool if you were to tell me that's a hell gun, and then fucking Doom guys there.
Because calling it a hell gun is instantly fucking awesome. And he's just like, yeah, I got the fucking hell gun. And so he shoots him, and he's like, oh, and you're just like, was that?
I laughed. I laughed.
I did. I laughed, but I was like, wait, was that intentional?
No, I don't know if it was, because it's cut really weird, and they don't really push in on it. They should have pushed in on going, ooh,
and no one acknowledges it in the future, because then you go to the future and they're just like, oh shit.
Well, we kind of skipped it, but you do get introduced to this robot being built and sent because the elders are just like, Bill and Ted aren't going to pull it off. We got to have them killed.
Yeah, they do talk about they're like, well, some believe in the that the prophecy is that Bill and Ted die, and that's what saves the future. And others believe that they make it music. And then they bring up that Rufus was more of the music end, and that's where Rufus's imaginary fake brought up daughter believes, and then Rufus's ex-wife, real ball and chain, she's like, no, I'm on the death squad. So
yeah, she
send the
believes
fucking Hellgun robot.
it's been 25 years. Rufus's idea of them being musical saviors isn't working. Now we got to send the T-800s back there, and he looks like some weird anime like.
Oh, he look from behind. He looks like Frieza. I was just like,
Yeah,
okay,
it was.
so you guys watch a lot of DBZ at some point. We're
It
like,
was
fucking make Frieza.
It was a very Power Rangers type of suit, which I kind of liked. I liked that it wasn't trying to be all CG. I liked that it wasn't like cool looking. I liked that it was kind of. I liked cool. It was very janky, and I liked that. I was just like, oh, I really like how bad this sucks. He's so cool that he. And
I mean, it was like Frieza and Nimrod from fucking X-Men had a shitty.
Okay, baby. I'll give you that. Yeah, and
like,
you could see
the
like
T. Time travel, Hellgun, everything.
It had human eyes, and it was like wearing like a ski mask and this weird helmet thing. And I was just like, and then when it did the like little pee-pee dance, like, ooh, I was like, wait a minute, dude. Is this
honestly
guy?
Probably my favorite character?
Dude, he's my favorite character because later on, he does what Bill and Ted need. He almost takes the mantle of the death roll from Bogus Journey as being this third guy of going, you guys can still do Bill and Ted. And I'm going to be the weird robot with the jokes that you guys can just fucking lampoon and beat up verbally and just do all your Bill and Ted stuff. And I'll try to join in and I'll fuck it up. And the audience is going to laugh because they already know what to expect from you guys. And it's going to be funny. I was like, dude, this guy's going to kill it. And they were like, fuck you. He's only in 2 minutes. I was like, fuck, really?
2 minutes total.
It broke my heart, dude. I had such big ideas. I had big hopes for him, big ideas I was running in my mind for him. Yeah. And they were just like, no, dude. I was like, dude, and I started thinking, I was like, dude, the B story with the girls going through time would have been with the robot would have been so funny. Like he would have just been like, so yeah, man, your dad's like saved the world or something. But they would have been like, what?
Yeah,
I don't know. I just wanted to talk. I get kind of nervous when we're in little tight spaces. I don't do good around girls. Just like something funny, dude. They would have been like,
then he just starts hardcore doing his pee-pee dance. They're like, is he touching himself?
Yeah, he just kind of goes,
I don't like this.
Every time we get into small spaces, like I feel weird.
I feel weird. Like stuff's crawling all over my body, but it's just my sexual urges. And they're just like, whoa, robot.
Oh, hey kid, what's up with all the downloading?
You're fucking harshing my Wi-Fi. They're just like,
you guys
have Wi-Fi? He's like, don't touch it.
He's like, you guys remember Napster? This is about music, right? You guys are into music. I'm a robot.
He's like, I got my fucking framework, totally first gen Napster. Shareware. They're just like,
what do you know about LimeWire? What is peer to peer? You want to hang out sometime? Oh, I'm sorry.
Soul Seeker, you want some fucking viruses?
It didn't happen though. That's another movie.
No, that's
Because then don't we cut to Rufus's daughter and she goes back because she thinks now that Bill and Ted are trouncing through time to try to figure everything out. Her plan is they're going to come back here. If not, Ma's death robot's going to go back there and she can try to help. And then the two girls, Bill girl and
just
Ted.
Say Bill and Ted,
girl and Ted
they
girl.
call them Bill and Ted daughters. So
they call them B and T and
Billy,
stuff.
Yeah, well, they call them Billy and Teddy, I think. Billy and Teddy.
Girls, Bill and boy.
Just call them Bill and Ted. What we would have done with the third one had we not gotten Keanu.
Right. The daughters. So the daughters, they basically in every scene together. The daughters. Yeah. The daughters run out there.
Like, hey, future lady, where are our dads? Are they in trouble? Like, let me just tell you the entire plot of the movie in case you didn't figure it out, because we knew it. We knew it the minute they disappeared in the future. They were in trouble.
Yeah, they recite the movie to everyone watching, and everyone's like, "Yeah, we've been watching. We get it. Shut up."
We've been watching. It's only 30 minutes in. We know. We're not lost at all.
Sorry, audience. We don't have anything for these characters to do, so they have to just talk about something you already know.
And so she's just like, "That's cool. Go ahead and take the stupid honeycomb thing."
That's what's so dumb. That could have been such a cool moment. She could have really stepped up and she'd been like, you know what?
Well, and it's like you have female Rufus and female Bill and Ted. Why did they separate?
Yeah, dude, they should have just been all together. She's gonna be like, listen, I'm gonna drag you two daughters through time and we're gonna have a goddamn blast. And they're just like, we're down for that. Air guitar, but it's all weird because it's all them. And then they all jump in there. And then she's like, you're gonna need the ultimate band ever. I don't need the girls telling me that. I can't even understand when they talk to each other. I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Because they like lowered their voices to try to sound like dudes. It was just
I don't know about that.
I don't. It seemed as it appeared to me that is what they were doing. Okay, I don't know.
Get out of control. Oh man, if they just
yeah, but instead they just
swap Bill and Ted.
We're gonna. Right now. I mean, it is. That's what it felt like. That's what it 100% felt like.
Does anybody?
And it just seemed like a huge. When I saw the three of them together, I was like, "This is going to be a huge missed opportunity." I guarantee. Instead, we're just talking on our stupid future iPhones, which is just a piece of plastic, see-through plastic.
Yeah, that's what I was
guess where I am, mother.
I thought the three of them were going to go shredding through time to find all the dope artists.
Apparently, because they can, I don't know, work a fucking laptop, they can use a time traveling device on their own.
They throw a line out there of like, "Hey, can you show us how to navigate this?"
And apparently that takes 2 seconds to do, Kevin.
And I was like, listen, the guys are stupid. They had a phone book of basically time throughout history they can dial and treat like a phone. Yeah. Everyone that was a phone.
Clever and interesting.
It was just kind of like Waka Waka. Like you said, it's a play on this. It's kind of this, Americanized. And this big stupid egg thing that's uninterested bullshit, anything sci-fi, you should have just put them all three together. It's not like Kristen's character had anything to fucking do ever.
I had no idea why they separated her. She's like, "Oh, I'm just gonna stay here." I'm like, I don't think the movie's ever coming back here. I don't. I don't. I don't want to be here.
Have you ever been to San Dimas? It sucks. I drove through it. Hated it.
I'm sure it looked just like the movie made it look like, a dump heap.
It looks like wherever. It's very
anywhere USA.
Mm-hmm.
But instead, God, it just would have been so much better if they were there, or if she was there, because then it's like they just get it. She's like, "Hey Alexa, fucking take us to Jimi Hendrix or something, just anything." But they don't even tell you how easy it is to use this thing. They're just using it. They just
use it. It's really just a moot point, and they just use it.
Yeah, and it's just the TARDIS.
Dude, I know it's the TARDIS, and I don't even watch that shit.
It's the TARDIS, and bigger on the inside than the outside. That's never explained. So they go to Jimi Hendrix. Some dude's playing Jimi Hendrix, and they're making it very accurate for the music files. Here's his guitar. It's not a left-handed guitar. It's a right-handed guitar flipped so he can play it left-handed.
Yeah, but they just shoot him from behind, so it doesn't even matter.
And I was just like, okay, so you're paying attention to the weirdest details. Got it. And then he's like, "Hey, fuck off. I don't care. I mean, you look like you're dressed like assholes. And you could have probably just shown me the cell phone and I would have been all in. But why don't you go get the worst Louis Armstrong impersonation ever before you get me?"
Well, because he's an Armstrong fan, so you're like...
And it just shows their music file, and they're like, "Oh, we know that you're a fan, so we're going to go get young Louis."
So, yeah, they go get, basically, and there's really nothing to this. They get Louis Armstrong. They
show him a phone, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm all in." Like, this is amazing. I'm just going to squint my eyes and talk like this the whole fucking time.
And then Louis basically plays for Jimi Hendrix.
Yeah.
And then Jimmy's all in, and then they go get Wolfgang.
Echoey hallway.
I know. Dude, that's so weird. I noticed that too.
I was like, the trumpet would sound like garbage in that hallway.
It would be so loud and just hard to like.
Yeah.
Like, oh my
he wouldn't be like, "Ho, let me just go get my fiddle. We'll rock it out right now."
Yeah. So they're just like, "Where we got to go next? We're gonna go to get Wolfgang."
Yeah.
Fucking Mozart, and you're like, cool beans. And then they go get Ling Lun. She's killer with the flute.
Yep.
So they gather all these.
What's annoying is like, so Wolfgang's a little like thrown off by them. He's like, "Oh, crazy! What the fuck's going on here?" When they go get the flute player, she's just like, "Yeah, okay." And then Wolfgang's like, "Can I play your flute?" "Oh, this is amazing!" And then he plays his fucking song, the one that you know by Mozart. I don't remember the name of it right now. Sorry.
That one shit.
that one. He plays that on the
is.
flute instantly, and then she plays it back to him instantly because, of course, they're all musical geniuses.
I can
And
just
he's
hear it.
obviously inspired by her. And then they go, and I really gotta say, Kevin, I felt like this part was kind of fake woke, still pretty racist.
Oh,
They
okay.
go get the drummer from Africa, the
Oh,
tribal drummer.
yeah. You didn't like that, huh?
Because no,
A
I
cave
was like,
woman named Grom.
well, first of all, it was not cave time. It wasn't cave person time that
No.
they got her from, or him, or her. I don't know.
It was a girl.
It was a girl. Okay, I don't even
Yeah.
remember. But they had her act like a cave person, and I was just like, first of all, this person's created drums. They've created drums before others have drums. They're living in very well-structured tents, and why are you having them crawl around and go oog and ugh? Like, this is
I don't
just
know.
really...
Mozart chased her down. It's like, you want to play drums in our sick-ass band?
Yeah.
Which I would have laughed if he would have said that or something.
Yeah.
Like, dude, Mozart's catching on. He loves the YouTube. Anything.
It was just so weird. And also that part didn't make any sense because how did any of them know about her?
How did they know about her? How come they just didn't get attacked violently for showing up out of the middle?
Exactly.
That's magic. Space. Ooh, scary.
Exactly. Especially if they're she's apparently a cave person.
Yeah, dude. Like, I would have believed it more if they tried to like lull her in with some music, and she would have been like, "Oh, I can see that you're creating music. That means you mean me no harm. I can fucking jump on that. Watch me fucking tear this hi-hat up." You know what I mean?
Yeah. Because it's just the logic thread that they created broke there. It's like, okay, they got Jimi Hendrix. He didn't want to join, so they went and got Louis Armstrong, who influenced Jimi Hendrix. So then they did that, and then they were like, okay, let's go get Mozart, who influenced Louis Armstrong and Jimi Hendrix, and then let's go get this flute player that influenced Mozart, who influenced these other two assholes, and now let's get a drummer.
Let's get Grom with a sick blast beat.
Let's get Grom with a sick ass beat.
They were
just like, what the fuck? And I found that character to be very racially insensitive to, like, I was just like, whoa, like, it was a hard stop for me. I'm like, what the fuck did you guys just do?
Like, it was out of place in a way where it should have been. So here's the thing: when they were gathering up all these musical,
it was just very 80s of them to do that.
But. It wasn't even 80s. I found it very like not fun. Like,
yeah.
If you see it in the fucking first one when they're getting Napoleon and all that stuff, it's so fun. Like, they're just tricking them to come with them, and they're kind of like, "Hey, bro, we're gonna go have some fun. You like fucking water slides?" You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's just kind of stupid, dumb. And this kind of, I don't want to say it plays it seriously, but it's just kind of like, you know what's going to happen because movie. And they do it just real generic, and it's just not fun. It's like a laundry list. They just do it because they know you expect it, you know it has to be done. And I was just kind of like, man, you could have just I thought,
filler.
Yeah, like if they were influenced by that, and they, like I said, took turns playing music for each other to be like, "Hey, dude, you like this? I'm influenced by you." They'd been like, "Bro, I don't even know what you're saying right now." He's translating on the phone so fucking Mozart can understand what the fuck's going on. Or it could be like Napoleon, where Napoleon never knew what the fuck was happening. He just knew what he liked.
Yeah, they just treated it like that. Like, he didn't know what was happening, but just kind of vibing with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It should have been this big musical, like they're putting together the most ultimate band, and you got like 3 people know, and then you just were like, "Yeah, this is good enough." That was it. It was just like, whatever.
If that part breaks down for you, it fucking goes out the window for me when they finally make it back to San Dimas with everyone on board, and then Kid Cudi shows the fuck up. He's not displaced through time. But like, he's modern. He's with us. So why is his time is our time. He's currently with us. Throw him back in the 1800s or something, then I'd be like, he's been displaced. Put him in fucking San Dimas, California? What the fuck? This is stupid. Why is he here? Like, why did it take him here? That's not a time shift.
Yeah, and then they had him do that like whole astrophysicist thing where he understands everything and is explaining
He understands
it.
everything. Like it's
He's
so,
like,
but all the other
science of the movie.
But he's just like saying stuff, and all the other characters are just shrugging. So I'm like, what is this? They shrug every time, and it's not. I guess it's supposed to be played for comedy, but
it's not, because he's not a good actor. So it's not. The lines aren't delivered in a believable manner. It's like a guy repeating something people told him to say.
Yeah, he's reading cue
and that's
cards
the
over
problem.
someone's shoulder or something.
Yeah, and that's the problem. Is like, if you're gonna have that work and be believable, they have to like just fucking live, eat, and die by those fucking lines that they're saying. I have to believe that is them to their core saying that. And I was just like, please get this man off the screen.
Well, yeah, like if he just showed up and he'd be like, I don't know what's going on, but I'm just here to make fucking fresh beats and dope rhymes, I'd have been like, all right.
Or if he just said it in like his own like
voice,
his own vernacular, and he's just like, it's like that, and it's just like broken down. They're like, oh fuck yeah, I totally get it now. No.
Or
I don't know. They did it like two white guys wrote the lines for him.
Or correlate it with music. You know what I mean? Of like,
yeah, you know, the theme of this thing that it seems no one that made the movie understood music at all.
Yeah, it's like you always say, you love comic books that have musical tones, but the people are educated within music, so they put that within the story, right? So it makes the story more enjoyable and you're more immersed in it because you're like, man, whoever wrote this story understands music and they've interwoven it perfectly.
Yeah.
So what you've done is you took the formula of the first one, you shrunk it down to a B story and had the girls do it, but none of that's been put in there. Like you almost had it when Jimi Hendrix was coaxing Mozart to come out. Like I thought it was just going to be more of that. And I was like, that's kind of fun where they're taking these. Yeah. You're putting music in it, and that's great. And that's kind of what the other movies really didn't have. They don't really have this big. It's music based, but there's no music really in it in a way.
Yeah, exactly. Because I honestly think it was written by two guys that kind of just like music, but aren't really don't really understand music. You know, and they like to listen to it, but they're just like, oh, I couldn't tell you how a song's fucking made.
But that's fine. You know? Like, yeah, they didn't.
Yeah, it's fine. But then it's like, don't get all, you know, technical on all your music stuff in your movie though, because like,
you're out of your weight.
It rings
you're
hollow.
Out of your weight. You're out of your weight class when you're trying to talk. You're trying to put hyper detail into something that you can't speak fluently on, so it just seems clumsy and awkward, right?
Yeah.
Like
it seems like an internet research, not actual like life fandom. You know,
it's just you're not a musician, and if you are, you can't translate it into dialogue to fit your story. Whatever. It's really kind of neither here or there. It's just kind of just a source fucking bruise that the whole movie wears constantly. But like I said, the Kid Cudi part, him showing up, didn't understand it, didn't know why, but whatever.
I think it was a celebrity cameo.
Pretty much. The Dave Grohl, he's in there for 5 seconds. I can't remember what happens after this. Don't they get a Terminator robots in the garage when they go to
No. So then we go back to Bill and Ted, who have now jumped even further into the future, and they wind up in the prison, Kevin.
Oh, the prison, yeah.
The prison, where they see them future selves.
I liked them. I liked whatever they were doing in the prison musically. It was very dark guttural, and drony. Yeah, I was like, I'm interested in this.
Fucking dark monk chanting.
So. Yeah, it was super cool sounding, and I wanted to hear more of it. I thought maybe we would play that song at the end. Well, here's what I thought was happening. All the times that they're running the Bill and Ted's or something that are playing music, I thought maybe there's going to be like an amalgamation of a song that comes from all of them. And
that they were maybe like building towards the greatest song
exactly
along the way, and it was the journey, and it wouldn't make sense until the end.
Right, dude. That's what I thought
had all the pieces. Yes, that's what I wanted to happen, but I knew it wasn't gonna happen.
They're gonna build the song. The girls are getting the people to play it with them. It's gonna be epic. Exactly. That's what I thought was happening. And boy, was I wrong.
Yeah, you were very wrong.
What movie was I watching?
Better movie. That was just like, that was the exact same thought I had of like, oh, I wish they would do this, but I already knew because like I said, I knew what the movie was going to do the minute the narration kicked in.
I kind of liked the Hotel Elk Lodge song they started playing when Bill and Ted walked in.
Well, that was from the second one though.
No, I know, but I like I'm saying just the music they created for the movie. Oh, yeah. I was like, I like this. Are they going to build like a giant, like the finale song? I liked it. I liked the music. So I was like, man, they're really taking this music theme home, and I'm like, this is gonna be an epic song at the end. I'm really kind of excited to hear this. Really kind of excited.
It was very short-lived excitement, wasn't it?
It's prison Bill and Ted, because their life's gotten even worse for them.
Yeah, because they took the fall for the Dave Grohl thing, and they blame Bill and Ted,
which the way they look.
Yeah, they have CG. They did the body swap thing where they took two muscular men and they just put their head on them.
So, dude, I think they did suits. It looked like
I don't think so, man.
With CG enhancement on it. Like,
maybe
because their heads and faces looked a little off.
Yeah, their hair is awesome. Their tattoos suck.
No, they look great. The tattoos are flawless. It's total tattoos that they would rock, and I loved it.
Yeah, didn't want to say excellent or something. No one said
right across his chest, dude. Yeah. Perfectly. I loved it. I love the prison look, and I also wanted to say another thing that I love about it. I love the beginning of the movie where they're showing the artwork and the one sheets and all this stuff, like the album covers of them slowly. I thought that was done really, really well. I was like, oh, I can see.
Yeah, but they were just rip-offs of other album covers.
No, I know, but I like it. Like I'm giving the movie a fucking high five on that. I thought that was really well done. It really showed. I don't know. I was in at that point. I was like, oh, this is cool. And then the movie started.
And then it was just like, slow down, Kevin. We got a lot of disappointment.
Like I didn't want to go into this movie like ripping it up and being disappointed.
No, I had high hope. Well, not high hopes.
I had no expectations. I had a high curiosity.
But I was joyfully, like, I went in with joy in my heart.
Excited. I was excited to see it.
And then they took that joy and they killed it, and they shunned me for having joy.
They dragged my shit around the fucking back, and they didn't show me what they did to it.
Yeah, and I don't want to know.
You're not ready for this, boy. I was like, okay, sir.
Yeah, and so then the
Terminator robot.
The Terminator robot shows up. The future Bill and Ted's, even though they're dicks and they're muscular and they're gonna beat up the other Bill and Ted, they have to beat up the future bot because he can't kill them, otherwise they stop existing. And so our president.
The only rationality from any of the time traveling.
Yeah, the only rationality. Not shooting yourself.
But they were ready to pull a gun on themselves. I assume it was a scare tactic.
Moments ago.
And I'm going to go ahead and say that's Dave Grohl. That's his gun.
Yeah,
that's Dave Grohl's gun. Yeah. And they were wearing his clothes.
Dave Grohl's gun. Yeah. Oh, no, for sure. That was.
It would have been funnier if Dave Grohl got arrested as well for conspiracy or conspiracy.
That would be great. And he
was in the prison like, I don't know what I'm doing here, just playing a fucking guitar.
No, they're just like, you know why you're here, tax fraud. He's just like, oh, man.
He's like, oh, come on, man.
That wasn't me. So,
hey, we let you keep the guitar, Grohl. Just play it. All right.
Play it.
That would have been a funny
he's super ripped too, you know.
Yeah, exactly. He's huge and he has the guitar and it looks like a little ukulele on him because he's so jacked. And he was just like, "You're looking, you're looking pretty tight over there."
Play fucking two chords anymore, but
he's like, "Thanks, guys." He's like, "Can you hold this fret down? I can't reach. I'm too huge." Like something like that.
Almost excellent, totally. You know, like
yeah. And just a funny Dave Grohl thing, and I'd have been like, "That's funny." Like, but they just didn't want to do anything funny.
Yeah, so they beat up the robot. They get away.
The robot, the beating should have been way better. I wanted the robot in like the fetal position. They're just kicking him.
Yeah, and then we go to the future and we see this weird, like, it's not from the robot's perspective. It's like from the cameraman's perspective because it's
like the cameraman's getting kicked
above the fucking robot getting kicked, and I was like, this is so weird. And they do it a couple times, and I was like, this is dumb. But then they see their wives and they're just like, you gotta go. And they're just like, oh,
but the wives
are so shitty.
The wives are with the future wives.
And none of them, the old or the new or the young, get to say anything. They're just shoot away.
This super makes me mad because he should have grabbed the wife. He's like, listen, the timeline is out of control. We're running out of time. We didn't write the perfect song. The wives have no clue what the fuck is going on. And she's like,
what is going on at all? And then at the end, they're just like, we know how to fix the problem. And it was like,
yeah, like they should have just been like, hey, no matter what, if you see another Bill and Ted, that's not us. This is us. And you're going to know it because of this. I love you. And you know what I mean? They could say it right.
That would have been a good time to say it. Yeah,
that would have been a good
perfect.
time because the shit's hitting the fan. We need to show these characters are growing. They got to know. They've been told multiple times they lose the princesses. And he was going to be like, this is how you know it's us. I love you. And then he looks over. He's like, and I love you. And then they kiss. And then they just he's like, keep time jumping or whatever. We'll see you at the end this time. You know what I mean?
Because we literally will only see you one more time.
Yeah, because how did they know to go to the end of the fucking time? You know what I mean? How did the wives just show up at the end? I'm like, what the fuck? How did you know? How did you know where they fucking would be?
Because apparently we're supposed to believe while they were time traveling, they learned a lot about the phone booth, I guess.
And they didn't learn where to. I'm okay with them having the phone booth, right? But here's another thing that fucking pissed me off. There's only one phone booth. How did they have their own phone booth?
No. I know how. It's just that they do a very piss poor job of explaining it. Do you want to do that? Because we just jump there next. And so they're like, okay, we're not going far enough into the future. Let's just go to the end.
Right.
So they go to where they're about to die, and it's in a retirement home. And they're just like, I guess we're here. And I was like, it's literally a retirement home.
Right.
How are you confused by where you're at? Like right now, whatever. They leave the phone booth. They go in, they see their old selves, and they're like, oh, the girls were here. That's it, Kevin. They're on their way out visiting them. They see the phone booth. They take the phone booth. They go on the visit. And I am doing all this logic. I piece this together on my own. The movie does not explain that to you.
But that's bullshit, dude, because the girls
only
had their own phone booth.
It's that same phone booth. It's the one because remember they come
when
back
they show
up
up on the counseling at the counseling.
Yeah,
because they're waving outside the window like, "Come join us."
Yeah, come hither.
It's all creepy and evil, but I just made it like that.
It's super weird. I was just like,
okay, I thought it was just me.
No, it was super weird. Like they're slow old mannerisms.
Yeah.
They're fucking losers. No, that's because they say, dude, someone took our phone booth.
I see. I got you now. Okay.
Yeah. But does the movie do a good job of making sure the audience knows that? No. Did I have to think about this movie way too much last night to piece that together? Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Because they overlap a couple of times. With the same phone booth. So now you're trying to tell me they're on that phone booth on a different timeline now? It just created another one?
Yep.
Because like if they took the one at the old folks' home at the very end, right? And they went to say bye to the old Bill and Ted because the ladies are leaving. They go into that phone booth. So where did they get that phone booth?
So Bill and Ted show up to get the song from their
old Bill and Ted.
Dying Bill and Ted.
Right.
They come out and they take their phone booth.
Right. They take their phone booth. Okay. Yeah. So and then they take it back to the
counseling, and then
so that's,
Bill and Ted have taken it to the counseling as well. Yeah.
So that same phone booth ends up in the same prison scene when they're saying
exactly. Get out of here. It actually ends up in all the same places.
I gotcha.
So,
but the same thing can occupy the same space and time at the same time.
Yeah.
The same item.
I mean, they're able to hit and touch each other, so it's not like time cop either. So.
Well, I guess it doesn't really take the same space. It's just side by side.
And then, so Bill and Ted talk to old Bill and Ted, and they have just a really unwarranted, just like an unuseful, not earned heart-to-heart with each other, with themselves.
Here's what you're trying to do. Like, it's supposed to be this somber moment of kind of this self-reflection, right? It's like your last moments, and you're looking at yourself, and you're kind of being like, "Man, was I the person I needed to be? The choices I made?" Because that's what I thought was going to happen. The movie's all about choice, right?
Yeah, they get a chance to reflect on where they're going in life right here, looking at themselves at the end of their life.
Right. So you're waiting for something kind of monumental to come out of them, or just something where your characters have grown, and they're like, "Man, you know what? We might not have made a right choices here and there. We might have put the future in jeopardy, but you know what? The good choices we did make, our daughters, our wives. You know what I mean? Our motivation." And you know what?
And also that one fucking killer song. And it's like, oh.
Yeah. And I also, the old dudes could have been like, "And this killer song that saves the fucking future." And he's like, you knew. And he's like, we've always known. Or something like that. And he gives it to them, and they're just like, fuck yeah. They should have all done the air guitar one last time, and that'd have been it. But instead, you get Keanu Reeves having this weird moment with himself. I'm like, dude,
where he was
are you going to kill yourself, bro?
Yeah, it was weird. It was,
Do you need to talk to someone?
Do I need to be in this fucking movie? And he was just like, yeah, man, we got to be in this movie. And he's just like, I'm fucking losing myself, man. Talking to myself all the goddamn time. And they're just like, this isn't in the script, Keanu. Stay on the script, man.
If you want to
come back to us, come back to us.
If you want to get to John Wick 10, we got to do this.
He's like, oh, God.
John Wick 10, Revenge of the Dog. And I was just like, what? This is so awkward. Like, where's anything? Where's the character development?
And I guess I understood Keanu's because he was just like, oh man, I start drinking and I'm a dick, and everyone got really focused on that and tried to make that funny, and it wasn't. I didn't understand the other heart to heart, because they were just like, yeah, man, we're like solid dudes. And I was just like, was this supposed to be funny? Like, if they had just said that and like hugged, that would have been fine. But they did. Yeah. They talked just as long.
It was two ways. Nothing. You could have played it two ways. You could have done it for comedy where they all do the air guitar or something funny.
You know, it would have been great if they all went for the air guitar, but only two, like one young and one old get it. And they're like, oh, we can't all air guitar at the same time? The fucking future sucks. Yeah, that's so like that when they're like, oh.
Because that comedy of them all air guitaring, that's very Bill and Ted. And that's kind of like the beginning, the end, right? And they're still going to be Bill and Ted. They could have played it for comedy, or they could have played it where like, hey, our daughter's still, out there kicking butt. And he's like, you know what, man, how's our princesses, golden as ever, all four of them, whatever, something. He's like, we didn't lose them. He's like, we didn't. We're doing everything not to. Something to kind of give them peace of mind. He's like, you're going to do it. We've seen it. Something. And everybody be like, yeah, future's weird. Their stories, whatever. And then they go outside. Hey, someone took our phone booth. And then Terminator robot shows up. And all these old people in the background are not interested.
No,
it bothered me so much. I was like,
care. And we should mention they get a thumb drive with the music on it. Like,
yes, so you're just and like, with their names on it. But like, if that was me and that's old Kevin sitting there going, hey man, this is how you fight the future. Fuck the future. Hack the future. And I'd be like, yeah, dude. This is young Kevin saying, fuck yeah. And he gives me a thumb drive and it has some cryptic bullshit on there. I'm going to fucking kick him in his...
And he's doing thumb drives. Like, what the fuck?
Dude, they were doing CDs 2025.
Yeah, that's true.
I was like, why don't you just throw him a fucking iPod, tell him to find it after he charges the fucking thing? It's a Gen 1. Good luck. I guess they're worth a lot of money. You're like, cool.
It's a solidly made device. I'm an audiophile. It has great fucking quality.
It's real crispy. Yeah. Like, if old Kevin would have done that, I'd been like, hey, man, what's this gibberish shit on the back? Oh, about to die. Hey, you die on me. I'm going to punch you in the dick so fucking hard. I'm going to feel it, you motherfucker. Do it. What is this? And I'm whooping his old ass until he tells me what it is.
Yeah.
But no, they look at it and go, that's our names, man. Totally. It could have been like, hey, your stupid little hoe daughters are going to play this. And it's going to rock. And I've been like, oh, dude, why do you got to call them?
Yeah, why do you got to call them hoe daughters?
Do they turn into hoes? Is that the future?
Answer me! He just starts punching his own dick. He's like, oh, stop it. I can feel that.
He's like, that's the point. It's just like that one guy from Marvel Comics.
Like a catheter shows up. He's like, oh, come on, knock it off. This isn't cool, man.
It's like, that's it, dude. He's like, give me something hot to put in my butt. And the old dude's like, no.
No. Oh. I got a bedpan. This sucks. I can feel it oozing. Oh,
and then Bishop shows up. Bishop's like, listen, I don't know what's going on here. You're fucking with time too hard.
Apocalypse.
Let me take this thumb drive for some sweet jams.
He's like, you were never meant to hear this.
Bishop out.
Bishop out. Don't worry, they'll ruin my character later. All that groundwork for nothing. It's like,
this M stands for mutant.
He's like, catch me in my spin-off series, District X.
Yay! One man excited.
One man very excited.
You turn that into a TV show right now, District X. It will make money, I guarantee.
Marvel's like, no. Like,
Disney's we're listening.
We double shelved New Mutants. You think we're gonna do District X? I don't think so.
Pitch it to me. He's a cop in Muty Town. Muty Town? What's that?
Before or after Grant Morris had ruined the X-Men?
Definitely
before, duh. All right, we're listening.
When does
when we were profitable?
When does the pig guy come out with a Y?
That's the other guys.
And whatever.
Yeah. So anyway, the robot shows up, and they're like, "Hey, robot, we got the mute." Oh no. Okay, so now we got a flashback before they come out and find the phone booth gone. We go back. The daughters have shown up with the band. Rufus's daughter is just like, "What the fuck is going on?" They're like, "We got the band. Where's our dads?" The robot shows up, zaps them all with the Helga rifle and the Hell gun, and is just like, "Oh."
Yeah, and then I laughed, and I was like, "What's up with this robot?"
And I was just like, "Is he a robot? Is he not a robot?" I was so confused, but I was just like, "Yeah." But it was still humorous. He still isn't like talking or anything. He's just doing this like weird pee-pee dance noise thing. And then the girls are in hell with everyone, okay? Because they just got hell shot. And they're like, "Oh, sorry everybody, this is like hell." Oh yeah. And they just start walking through hell. And that's kind of it. And then
the way they hit, I was like, "You're concussed, aren't you?" Like their two heads hit a fucking piece of brick. And I'm like, "Oh shit, are they dead? Is this how it ends?"
This is how it ends. They double die? That'd be great. And then Rufus's daughter calls Rufus's wife and is just like, "Oh fuck it, I'm in hell, Mom. Thanks a lot." And I was like, let me get this straight. This phone works in hell?
That's some good coverage.
What the fuck? And never once do we actually see the mom on the other end of the phone.
Dude, what more do you want? You don't need that. You just need that.
Yeah, you do. The way as much as they talk, because the mom acts like she doesn't know what the fuck the phone calls have been about when she finally sees her doctor.
It's just a joke telling device that just
listen, this movie
cranks out home runs.
No, this movie needed more than that. It hit a fucking grounder to first. The guy didn't even have to leave the bag. He was just like, "Oh, gotcha." Yeah. No, it stayed fair. It got thrown out instantly.
Okay.
And then we go back, and the robot's there, and Bill and Ted are like, "We got it, man." And the robot's like, "Mistakes were made."
When he's like, "What do you mean, dude? You can't kill us. We got the future song." And he's like, "Yeah, you're right. I can't kill you now because you got the future song. Yeah. I'm supposed to kill you because you didn't get the future song, but you got it now." And they're like, "Yeah, man." And he's like, "Oh, by the way, I smoked your family. I sent them all to hell." And they're like, "Dude, what the fuck?" He's like,
and then so they're like, "You have to kill us." And he's like, "I cannot do that." And it goes on for a little bit too long. So they break the thumb drive, and they're just like, "Fucking send us to hell." And he's just like, "I'm going to just kill myself because of the guilt."
All of a sudden, the robot becomes a character with more problems than anybody in the movie in 5 seconds.
Yeah. So, and then somehow they just like hold his hand when he shoots himself, and they go to hell with him. And the princesses show up yet again, I guess, I don't know. They can't return. I guess they return the old ladies at that point. I don't
remember that. They do that.
Yeah, they see them shoot. They see them get shot, and I'm pretty sure that's where they drop off the old ladies, and then they only show up at the finale after that. And so now Bill and Ted are in hell.
I was so curious what's going on with this sea story. Are the princesses just getting filled with all these evil things? Like, it's like, can we go to them at least once?
No, they only get to see what we see, and that's it. We don't get to see what they're doing.
Yeah, I was so curious. I felt like because it's so sinister the way they get waved over, and I'm just like, oh my god,
come hither.
Are they just gonna? Are these guys like murderers, and they're gonna show you all the murders from all these Bill and Teds? Yeah, I was so just what?
I don't know. It was dumb. And so then the robot now has taken on personality. He has introduced himself as Caleb something. I don't remember the name now. And it's great because Bill and Ted are like...
He's like, "My name's Dennis." They're like, "Hey, Dennis." Okay. He's like, "My full name is Dennis Calby McCoy." They're like, "Hey, Dennis Caleb McCoy." And he's like, hey, so I was just wondering. They're like, dude, what do you like? Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, they're like very motivated to find their daughters now that they have not given fucks about the whole movie. And he is just like interrupting constantly. And I like that because I was like, do that because I don't care about what they're doing because I know what they're gonna do.
So like he's challenging.
Already...
they're very motivated right now. They have like direction. Yeah. They're trying to quote unquote beat the clock before the end of the world, and then they're trying to get their daughter safe, even though they need to be going play the song. And then the robot's just kind of like dragging it out, and you're like, but he's humorous enough where you're kind of okay. It's where it's okay.
It's not great,
but it's okay. And there was another part where it could have been humorous. They run into these two demons. And the demons, they're like, hey, demons, have you seen like these two chicks? And they're like, yeah, real good people, man. They're over there. They went that way. And the dude's like, bro, the other demon's like, dude, is that a robot in hell? He's, dude, it is a crazy day in hell today. You know, just a robot over there. I've seen it all. And like, I was just like, where's that weird Adult Swim monotone humor? Like all of a sudden it's just popping up.
And the demons looked great. And they were great. And then the funniest thing they said was just a robot in hell. And I was just like,
yeah,
funny.
Like I wanted to watch the demons go home after a hard day of being demons and shit, and kiss their wife and go, "Hey, honey, how'd you go? Honey, crazy day. There was a robot today down in the pits."
Hell. Fucking big. Not only did it become sentient, but it also apparently fucking evil.
Like, no, honey, the neighbors aren't going to believe this. You know what? He had a hell gun too. He shoots you, sends you right to us. Like that's customer service.
Like, that's something, I've been trying to, I pitched the hell gun years ago. Look, here it is.
And then everybody's going to be like, I didn't like it when the Geico Cavemen had their own show. Fuck your demon show. I'll be like, well, fair enough.
Fair enough. And then they run into Rufus's daughter who
just chilling.
He's like, hi, I'm Dennis. And she's like, you named him after my ex. And I was just like,
could have been funny.
This sucks.
But it was only
great
funny
if she was like, what do you mean named him after your ex? See, this is why I needed the other part of the phone call, Kevin. So that she could actually be funny. But instead, she had no straight man to play off of.
Yeah, she needed someone to play off of. But it was kind of funny because he went one way, then he just tiptoed the other direction.
But then I was like, why is she separated from them?
I don't know, dude.
Is the cell reception in hell spotty all of a sudden?
Because she was
make interdimensional phone calls.
Here's the thing, dude. She's fine standing there, but the rest of the band and the daughters, they're all cracking rocks on Chain Gang. I was like,
but like at the gates of hell, I was like, why are you at the front door doing that?
Yeah, that's a.
And then there's Ted's dad, and he's like, hey, I'm in hell, so I guess all that crazy shit you told me was real. And I was like, really?
I accepted that, dude. And then Ted hugs him. I was like, we finally got
shitty, but I mean, it worked, but I was still just like, God, this is so dumb.
Dude, a character progressed. Just be happy. The dad came to the realization that his son was.
No, I think the dad was only in the movie because he was alive, Kevin.
Dude, I know.
Don't think we needed him at all.
Dude, just be happy a character fucking learned something, okay? I was stoked. I was like, finally.
Yeah, I guess.
There's closure.
And so then they're off to see death. They got to get out of hell. The only way to do that is to see death. And then what transpires is the worst callback to the second movie.
Oh,
the only part I laughed at was, he's like, is he cheating at hopscotch? That made me chuckle.
It was just...
That was it.
It was this whole scene is like a real slap in the face to the second movie. This is what I would have done. I'm already dealing with this shit sandwich. If you have death in there, he should have been playing something by himself, and then Bill and Ted should be like, dude, he's still mad. He's like, yeah, he's really mad. And the girl's like, what did you do? Yeah, we kind of kicked him out of the band. Why? He was being a prima donna. Oh, he's like, oh, you guys had Madonna? Not like that. Okay. And then they go in there, and the death's doing the game, and they should have just started just doing a game with him super fast, like jump rope, doing the clap. You know what I mean? Just.
Yeah.
And he's like, dude,
anything.
And then Death could be like, bros, you really dissed me when you kicked me out of the band. Sure, that bass solo goes on a little too long, but you know what? You brought me back. You respect. You took the crown. You guys are still the best tabletop football guys I've ever seen. You know what I mean? Just something, and everyone's just like, yeah. And then that's it. Like them
playing the game would have been shorter than their conversation.
Yeah, instead of them like going in there and then sucking his dick, being like, "Oh, you're so good. All your albums got panned, but we loved it." They were just kind of blowing up his ego. And
well,
then
and not even that. We go through this like awkward like history that we're not privy to in the movies of like him being in the band, them kicking him out, him suing for the name, them being
but
like,
then
what the fuck, getting restraining
and
orders
here's
and
another
shit. It's
thing.
just so dumb. I'm like,
If
you're in hell.
if Death was in the band,
Death was in the band and they
was no one
sued him.
dying? Was no
And
one
then,
dying the whole
but
time?
here even worse, Kevin.
Think about it.
Yeah, I don't want to. He was in the band. They went to courts. Okay. Ted's dad still doesn't believe that it happened. They fucking sued Death. Everyone was like, yeah, they're suing Death. Everyone else in the court of the American justice system acknowledged that Death was a person and that he could be sued.
They just thought he was some bald dude living the gimmick. They were just like, had his name legally changed to Death.
I was like,
yeah, it was super.
What are you doing, movie? Fucking figure out your own gimmick and stay consistent to it at least, please. Because what you're cherry picking to be consistent on and not isn't helping you.
You need
That's
to choose,
the problem.
Yeah,
it's not making you funny.
To.
So
it would have been better if they did that. He's like, Death, we missed you, man. He's like, oh my God, I missed you guys so much. You know, people weren't dying for like a minute, and I totally got in trouble for that. So I got relegated, I got demoted. Now I'm in hell. First level rock breaker status. Kind of sucks. I just gotta babysit him. But being in Wild Stallions, I got this sweet
a dope house.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Being in Wild Stallions, I got this sweet pad. You know, that's cool. I still miss the games. Are you guys here to play some games? It's like, no, dude, we need you. You're like the sickest bassist we know. We're gonna put together a band. And these are our daughters, and they're going to help. And he's like, that's sick. I'm all in. You want to get some right now? Boop, 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 boop. And they're just like, no. We don't got like 45 minutes for this. We're running out of time. You know what I mean?
Like the girls should have known about Death beforehand, but they were just like, oh, we're just like a fan of your music. And yeah, like you said, they just go in and just make him feel good about himself. And then he's like, all right, I already got demoted once for getting you out of hell. Let's go for broke. Why not?
And I really wanted him to, like, when they hugged and Death accidentally touched one of them, it just blows him into a skeleton. He's like, oh, shit. And he touches him again and he snaps him back and he's got his flesh and stuff back. Something cool. Something like I'm Death and I just killed you. And then he's like, oh, shit, I'm sorry. I usually wear gloves.
or he saw, like, Jimi Hendrix. He's like, Jimmy, you're already here. What the fuck?
Yeah, dude.
And he's just like, oh, yeah.
All the people in the band, he should have been like, dude. And then looked at the other guy. It looked at the other guy like, wait a minute. And then looked at the chick. What the? Are you guys time traveling again?
Like, wait, Mozart, you can't be in hell twice for touching kids, you know? And they're just like, whoa.
No, dude, it's a family film. What are you doing?
Yeah, no, it totally is a family film. So yeah, he's like, hey, let's get out or let's rock. And then like, fucking Dennis is just like, oh, I really liked it when you said let's rock, and then he starts having, and then you have these two characters that are kind of filling the same role, talking to each other, which is something you should never do, because then one of them becomes instantly not funny because they have to be the straight man.
Well, someone has to shut down the party.
Yeah, and Death just his character just dies at that point,
literally, and that's the kind of the last time you really interact with Dennis. Which sucks because they should have just plugged like the beat machine into his chest and just started making beats instead of him going, I'm going to dance in the finale, which was a big waste of opportunity. I was like, dude, Dennis, his chest should open up. They just starts dropping beats.
Yeah, he should have been, or he could have just been speakers.
Like, yeah, anything.
Because the future loves music.
Anything,
and
Dustin.
Why wouldn't he be
fucking
speakers?
Anything. Remember the future?
Like, I'm just all speakers. They're just like, that's amazing. He's just like, hook it up to me. He's like, oh, not there. And they're just like, oh, sorry.
Yeah. Just instead of having all these stacks and stuff, I was like, wow, that Guitar Center truck had everything. Anyway.
Yeah, I was like, Guitar Center, fucking, they're not going to make it.
They all load back into the SWAT truck, and Death teleports them out, even though he got trouble last time for teleporting two guys out.
But now it's all of time and space, so
who cares? No rules. Fuck rules. If you're in this movie, fuck a rule. And then you teleport
I did
out.
when they were like, I guess you got to save the future. And they're like, and all of time and space. And he's like, is that new? like that actually made me chuckle because I was just like,
yeah. That was actually the character paying attention.
Yeah.
So they got to get back to play the perfect song. They realize it's the girls that have to orchestrate it. But what's the location? It's a mile marker 48 or whatever. They fucking finally figure it out because they get thrown in the middle of fucking
traffic in Pasadena.
Yeah, so they're just sitting there.
They're on the 210, everybody.
Everyone's like, that means nothing to me. Like,
Yeah.
so they start setting up and everything. The power goes out. They get the power back on. Kid Cudi tells them science stuff, and they're just like, no disrespect, Kid Cudi, but hurry to fuck up. And he's just like, you got to go through all the time, and everybody in time at the same time's got to play this song with me. And I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, and the daughter's playing it because they make it several times, and that's what I'm saying. It's very easy to figure out where this movie's going because every time anyone from the future talks, they just say the last names. They don't say Bill and Ted. They say the last names, whatever, Preston, whatever it is. And then they say, and they always keep mentioning, and the entire band. They keep saying those two names plus the entire band have to play.
Logan and Preston, bro.
Logan and Preston, yeah. Have to play with the entire band the perfect song. Over and over to where it's just like, of course it's not them. You know, and then they realize and they're like, it's you guys have to do it. Like, you're not going to play the music. You're going to like make it with these people that you've collected. And then they just let them play a bunch of shit. And then, yeah, like you said, then Bill and Ted are like, we have to, if it's going to reach everyone has to play. So they're like, and then the wives show up and they're just like, hey, we got to go through time and give everyone instruments. And they're dialing the infinity number, which is infinite. And that's made me chuckle, even though they were too stupid to realize that they were punching in infinite numbers. And they're like, why don't you just use the infinite sign or the infinite number? And I was just like, ugh. Like, you're telling me that they're that dumb now again, suddenly? Like, ugh. And then, yeah, they're just going through, handing instruments. The girls are just letting all of the musicians play at once, which sounds like shit. And then they figure out, oh, we should just have one of you play at a time and build a fucking music or like a song. But the writers don't know how to do that, so we don't know either. Yeah. But Google research. Okay, we'll start here. So,
yeah, I think it was like you have some of the like most talented musicians like the history's ever known. They could figure it out.
Yeah, I don't think, especially Mozart, who composed music with an orchestra, which is all about multiple instruments playing different parts and building and building and building and building upon everything you did before, would just start jamming on the fucking electric piano, not giving a fuck what anyone else is doing. And I don't think Jimi Hendrix or Louis Armstrong both, especially Louis Armstrong, who conducted a band, who built music on top of each other and knew how to construct music or a song, would just start fucking playing. None of these people, other than your racist cave woman, would just be like, bam, 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 bam.
She's not racist, dude.
No. I know.
Your
racist character that you created.
Your racist portrayal.
Yeah, your racist portrayal. Yeah, there you go. So, I mean, we don't know. She could be racist too. I don't know.
Nice, certainly.
And so they figure out they need to make a song. The song sucks a lot. They have a known rapper from the modern era who only says, yeah, make some noise. And that's it.
He kind of introduces it.
Yeah.
And then Bill and Ted jump on after they do their infinite split. Yeah.
And because though you already have Jimi Hendrix, they're like, make these two assholes great guitar players.
Well, fuck it. You can have two. You can have another lead and rhythm, dude. Come on.
I know, Kevin, but it's just kind of like, you got Jimi Hendrix. I don't give a fuck what these two assholes do at this point.
Rhythm?
They did it, though. They didn't do rhythm. They both played fucking lead.
No, they didn't.
Didn't they, though? Didn't they? Didn't they?
That's not the point. The point was the song and everyone across the world at the time and everything
playing like assholes somehow the same song. So
it's MP46. I don't know if I said 46 or 40.
Yeah, I mean no one's gonna
whatever.
No one's gonna fucking check on
I just thought about it.
All I know is that they handed someone a flute without the top of it. And I was like, they can't play that.
They won't be able to play that.
Yeah, I was like, that's a modern flute, and they can't play that. So,
yeah, man. It
was really stupid. Yeah, the song was disappointing.
I didn't mind the song. I thought the song sounded nice. I didn't like the idea of the ending, I guess.
Yeah, no, it just yeah, it wasn't worth the
With
journey.
with what these characters and the world that you have, I really thought this ending is just like cartoony stupid. Like, I don't know.
Mm.
It just kind of really deflated me. And then it just
Yeah.
kind of it gets the fuck out of there. It ends and it's done. And that's
Yeah,
it.
we jump back to the future for a minute, and they see
Yep.
that everything's leveled out. The Death Star has leveled out. It's fine. It's not going to explode.
Their screen stops glitching.
Yeah.
Or whatever. And that's kind of it, right? Like
But
it's
and
done.
everyone
Like,
starts getting put back in their places and everything.
do they? I don't even remember that.
Yeah,
Oh.
because kid disappears.
Oh, he
and then-
disappears. He disappears. Yeah. But
So,
yeah, okay.
and I guess the band just disappears or something.
And I
don't
guess their marriage is fine. And I guess
know. Marriage is fine. Marriage is solid.
I guess the traffic finally gets going, and then I guess Guitar Center just writes off all that product as a loss.
I mean, they were like, "Hey, if they start writing, you just leave it and go. Well, we have insurance." So
And then I guess they warp the dentist guy back because
they leave before the finale. She's like, "Good luck," and then her and Rufus's daughter,
the light
Dennis,
flashes or something. Yeah, they don't even see how it ends, just the balance of everything
they're
in
just like,
existence.
we can't be here for some reason, but we gotta go. Because my character doesn't make any sense, and I was an afterthought. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else after that. I think it just literally cuts to. Oh, you know what it does? It cuts to a bunch of just random assholes.
Oh,
all
playing music, yeah.
playing music.
Nothing
But
for the movie.
yeah, my problem with that is that
Oh, no, I'm sorry. Yeah, when it ends, all the landmarks go back to where they belong. They all leave Southern California. The people start warping. You're right. Everyone goes back. Yes.
yeah. I just don't know if the people they intentionally took out of time go back. I think I don't know. I guess they're just fucked because, well, they got the phone booth. It doesn't matter. But, and then the show is basically like just fans, like normal people playing music. And then after about like 10 seconds, they were like, we ran out of people submitting footage that could actually play music. So now most of them are playing cardboard or air guitaring, which kind of was off point from your story, where you just showed me that like a nice tie-in would have been like everyone had an instrument, because you just showed me Infinite Bill and Ted handing out infinite instruments to everyone. Why wouldn't you make sure everyone had an instrument, even if they weren't really playing it? Because obviously you're not letting them actually play anything.
Music's hard, man.
Yeah, I guess. But and then that goes on for forever, and then it goes to the credits. And did you stay till the end, Kevin?
Fuck no.
You should have stayed till the end, Kevin, because now I gotta tell you about the fucking end.
Ugh.
Where they go back to the old Bill and Ted.
In
And they're like,
the beds?
in the beds, and they're like, "Hey, dude, are you dead?" And he's like, "I'm not dead yet." And he's like, "I just want to do one more thing."
Air guitar.
No, they play real guitar for like, well, I mean, they don't really play it, but they pretend to play guitar for.
Wait, speak movie talk. They play guitar.
They play guitar
Okay.
for like a solid minute and a half.
That's it.
Of real runtime. And that's it. And then they sit down. And he's like, "I'm too tired to keep going." And they just sit down. And that's the end of the movie. It's them being too tired to keep playing.
Oh, I thought like the phone booth would slam right in between their beds or something. And then a fucking perfect digital Rufus comes out. He's like, "Guys, you gotta come with me.
We gotta go back."
You know what I mean? Or something like that. Or
remake this movie again. Better though.
I'd been like, "Oh, fucking sick. Rufus is back."
Nope.
Because Rufus is cooler than cool.
Yep. Even the CG or hologram Rufus was cool.
Yeah, dude, he was the coolest thing in the whole fucking movie. You're just like, this guy's like levels above everyone in this movie.
Yeah. Nope. That's how the movie truly ends.
Yeah, wow. I didn't know that. That sucks.
Yeah, I had a feeling. I was just like, I bet there's something at the
Some
end. So
some sneaky, some
yeah,
sneaky, some sneaky
I just
piece with
it just
the.
seemed like they thought they would be clever by sneaking something like that in. So,
Yeah.
and then what I saw, I was like, ugh. Like if you had gone back to the prison guys, I probably would have laughed. If you had just gone to Dennis and Rufus's daughter, like bickering like a couple, I would have laughed.
Oh yeah, that'd have been good. Yeah. Then
Yeah.
like.
If you would have gone back to George Washington still being on the couch and like he didn't zap back and she's just like, so what are we dating? And then like that was it, I would have laughed. If you would have done anything other than what you did, which showed me them playing guitar as
But that
old
was the
guys.
thing, though. The movie wasn't. It wasn't trying to be funny. Like there was
No, it
nothing.
wasn't.
There was
Trying to
nothing
be
really
family
played.
fucking
Yeah, there was
sake.
nothing played for humor. Like so, I don't think they would have done anything funny. There
Yeah.
was humorous moments, and like I said, like
Yeah, I have a hard time calling this a comedy. Like there's a couple comedic moments does not make a comedy, you know?
right, yeah, yeah.
So I don't it was I mean, I didn't expect it. Like I said, I went in with joy, hoping they would surprise me, and then when I instantly figured out the movie, like, and I'm not trying to like, it's not ego saying that. Like, I was so enraged and upset when I figured out what exactly they were going to do with the movie before the movie had really even begun. Uh, I was just like, ah, fuck, I don't even want to watch this now.
Well, yeah,
I
it's
don't
rough
watch it,
because you
and then it
have
did everything I knew it would do, and I was just like, ugh.
yeah, because you have an hour and 30 minutes of just you get it already. You already know. So
Yeah.
no, well, dude, that's Bill and Ted Facing Music. Dustin, would you recommend anyone facing this for an hour and 30 minutes?
I really can't. I can't because if you like the first two movies, I don't think you'll be rewarded. Like this isn't rewarding longtime fans. It's not.
No.
It's not a good standalone movie on its own to where even if you hadn't seen the first two that it did a great job. Like it relies heavily on reminding you what it did previously and did better.
Yeah.
So I just on those regard, even if you were just a music fan, I would not recommend this movie because it's going to make you be like, man, do these people know music? They don't. They fucking don't. So for me, on all accounts, it's a pass. Like even a morbid curiosity, it's a pass. So
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
hope it doesn't make enough money to make a fourth one because I wouldn't even bother with it.
No, I unfortunately I agree. As like I said, I was a huge fan of the first two. I was age appropriate in a way. It just hit at the right time. And this it really cashes in on the fact, like you said, you have to know these other things and it's to its detriment. Because you do know those other things and you're kind of waiting for it to fill in this gap or this kind of be this extra nostalgia piece being like, hey, here's another hour and 30 minutes of these characters doing these things. They just happen to be older and it's a different adventure, but you're still going to get the same thing. So it's really hard because you're older, your tastes have changed, everything's changed. Those characters can't really age because they lose a lot of what makes them characters when they do age. So it's a lot of that and just the way they chose to have those said characters act and respond and just basically be. You're kind of looking for maybe a little older Bill and Ted to kind of have some things they tried to accomplish or get over or grow or something like that because they are older and nothing like that happens at all. It's very family friendly, which could be a good thing. If you want to see it, you got some family, sure, put them in front of it. It's going to be non-offensive, but if you're looking for a true installment, it's not going to hit the mark. It's got a lot of flaws in its own world. It's got a lot of flaws in the Bill and Ted world. It's got a lot of flaws. So unfortunately, I can't recommend that, which kind of sucks.
Yeah. Yep, that I think says it all. So we thank you for listening. Hopefully you made it this far to the end of our Bill and Ted Face the Music podcast coverage. You can find us on Instagram and Twitter as Us Versus Movies, and you can find us on YouTube as well. And of course, subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. We're hosted by Buzzsprout, so if you want to go there, that's a one-stop shopping for you. Otherwise, feel free to leave us a comment, review, whatever, movie suggestions. We would love to hear your suggestions and be like, no, we're not ever going to cover that, or yes, we definitely will. And otherwise, Kevin, bid them adieu.
Thanks, everybody, for sitting through all that.